Post's new uniforms is so thin, posties and other outdoor staff are reporting severe sunburn and say bras and tattoos are visible for all to see. SMH The Age says a safety review's been ordered into the new polo shirt, which is supposed to have an SPF 50 rating. Details of the uniform contract are confidential, but the Communication Workers Union says the bungle could cost up to $30 million. In the meantime, the full rollout's been delayed, with staff allowed to wear their old uniforms at least until the end of March.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Order a new Gliderol garage door before the end of Feb and the operator is free. T's and C's apply.
Good morning, Tommy.
And a very good morning to you as well, Jess. We're going to start with some football. Adelaide and Port Adelaide will play a trial match at Alberton tonight as they continue their pre-season. Lockie McAndrew will get an opportunity to lock down the number one ruck role. Josh Rochelle will also get a chance to continue his impressive pre-season. While for the Power, Harrison Ram will be one to watch after a big pre-season, along with Todd Marshall, who's set to play in defence. Still on footy, Charlie Curnow was impressive in his first outing for Sydney, booting 4 goals in a win over the Western Bulldogs. Fellow forward Logan McDonald, playing his first game since the 2024 Grand Final, also managed 4. Assistant coach Ben Matthews says it was pleasing to see the forward line click.
We've had a good period of time out there and those players working together, which has been fantastic for them. We've done a hell of a lot of drills, which is, I suppose, focused on their connection. It's always pleasing when it comes together. The Dogs were missing a few today, so, you take that for what it is.
16-year-old Indra Brown has had a great first run in the freestyle skiing halfpipe qualifiers at the Winter Olympics. She's currently ranked 5th out of 21, with the top 12 making the final. An opening knock of 88 from Georgia Vole has helped Australia to a 19-run win over India in the second Women's T20. Melbourne United has done the Adelaide 36ers a big favour by beating the South East Melbourne Phoenix 95-91. That result means the Sixers can't finish outside the top 2. And West Australian golfer Curtis Luck holds a share of the lead after the opening round of the New Zealand PGA Championship. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tommy. Now the 5AA forecast.
Staycation for a vacation? Stay with C-Max. Visit cmax.com.au to sign up today.
Sunny and 33 today, 35 with a possible shower tomorrow, showers and 27 for Sunday, sunny and 28 for Monday. Right now it's 21 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Win one of 6 fantastic Mahindra cars, plus 50 petrol vouchers valued at $1,000 each. Buy the advertiser from now until March 8, find the code word and enter at winwithnews.com.au. T's and C's apply. SAT 25/2116.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth a trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Steinborner Commercial Yard in Gawler, SA's biggest yard dedicated to certified local used cars, utes, vans, 4x4s, and of course the new Jack Ute. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth a trip to Steinborner Commercial Yard and Gawler Jack. View our whole range at steinborner.com.au.
It's time for all of us to back the local family-run car rental company, and that company is Red Spot Car Rentals. They've been proudly keeping Aussies on the road since 1989. Red Spot actually started from humble beginnings at a South Sydney petrol station.
You'll find them in airport terminals and cities all over Australia, with a new fleet of cars, vans, utes and trucks, plus hybrid and electric options are available too. Right now, you can get a spot-on special just for listening. There's 15% off every vehicle at every location. T's and C's apply.
So if you need a rental car, you can rely on Red Spot. Book direct and save 15% at redspot.com.au/radio or call 1300 66 88 10 and quote radio.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early or late. Either way, the Olympic Industry Sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA-engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industries Sale. On now.
If I don't listen to 5AA Breakfast in the morning, I actually have a bad day.
Live from Hindmarsh Square, it's 5AA Breakfast.
David Penberthy and Will Goodies. 9 after 6, good morning to you and welcome to Friday on 5AA Breakfast. It is the 20th of February. It's Meat Tray Friday today, of course. Wonderful meat tray, thanks to Dave and the team at Goodwood Quality Meats. Oh, geez, it's Meat Tray Friday. Great to have them on board again. You know you're getting high-quality meat this morning. That is going to be exceptional. We are spending a bit of time in the UK this morning, as you might well imagine. Vincent McAvaney is going to join us shortly in London. And then we're going to head to Wood Farm. Ben Downey for 7 News at the site of Andrew, the former Prince Andrew's arrest overnight in that extraordinary story. Also today, wrapping a big week in federal politics, Nelson Scott, 9 Radio's federal political reporter. The Premier's going to come on to talk MotoGP. The track was released. There was lots of conjecture in the morning yesterday about what and how do you do the track. And there's more questions now that have come out of that. So I'm looking forward to that chat with the Premier a little bit later. Feedback Friday as well. Huge morning, lots going on. Let's start here, David Penberthy. If you were on a multi right now and you'd bet on there being no Liberal Party, no Royal Family and no Ayatollah, this has been a big 24-hour news cycle for you, hasn't it?
Unbelievable. In hindsight, the arrest of Andrew, when it was happening like last night. We're actually watching Paul Murray live, my wife and I, at the time on Sky, and it came on and we just went, wow. And we immediately switched over to GB, what's it called? GBV, the British channel.
There's Sky News UK, BBC, and GB News is the radio program. No, that's LBC. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, we're jumping back and forth between Sky News UK. It was utterly unbelievable, but then it wasn't unbelievable. Like you think about this guy. There's been more and more evidence, a lot of it photographic. Like those photographs that have been coming out of this bloke. You just think
this arrest appears to have nothing to do with those.
Well, this is it. A lot of women in particular were making that point last night. You know, is it like Al Capone's accountant? You know, getting him on tax fraud,
ended up in Alcatraz.
But huge implications for the royal family, and I really wonder how hard it is going to be for King Charles to remain. To maintain the perception of being arm's length from all of this when it's his own little brother. And I wonder whether, given also that he's been ill, this might be the weirdest theory of all, but just watching it last night, I actually thought this might escalate Charles stepping aside as king and give it to the next generation, because I think for the good of the royal family, they need someone who is much more demonstrably repulsed by Andrew's conduct, and that person is probably William.
Or most removed from it.
Yes, correct.
So the charge goes to misconduct in public office, and it relates to the most recent tranche of Epstein files that were released. And it goes to Andrew's role as the UK's trade envoy and what information he gave to Epstein. It is setting up this remarkable... This carries a maximum life in prison, the charge, by the way. It does set up this extraordinary scenario where, setting aside Ghislaine and Epstein himself, currently the ledger stands that more people have been arrested outside the US than inside the US when it comes to the Epstein files. So that'll be one to watch. Let's head to the UK for the latest. Vincent McAvaney, our man in London, joins us. Morning to you, Vincent.
Good morning.
This is just an extraordinary story, Vincent, but as we were saying, though, like the suspicions around Andrew have just been getting much more grim, haven't they?
That's right. I mean, there are currently 9 UK police forces. We have 42 across the country, but 9 of them at the moment conducting individual investigations into Andrew and his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein and the conduct involved. To just really clear out what happened today, this is the Thames Valley Police have arrested him. They are the police force that cover Windsor, where he lived until very recently, and they are the force that decided to investigate because he has lived in Royal Lodge in the grounds of Windsor for the past 20 years until he was booted out last week. The period covered is the 2000s and early 2010s when he was acting as a UK trade envoy, and we've learned from the Epstein files that he was seemingly sending sensitive government documents almost immediately in some instances off to Jeffrey Epstein. And this was a breach of his duties in this role. It was a role that we believe King Charles was actually very reluctant and protested him getting initially because he was concerned about how he would behave, but it was backed by Tony Blair, the then Prime Minister, and the Queen thought it would be good for him to do after leaving the Navy after his service there. But ultimately, it seems the King has been proved right that once again Prince Andrew has let down his country and the royal family, seemingly with his conduct whilst in the role. He has denied always previously any kind of misbehaviour or wrongdoing with his association with Epstein, but this is the first arrest. He has been released in the last few minutes from that police station. There's a pretty unflattering photo of him trying to hide in the backseat of a car which has just dropped. But we could see him being pulled in for further questioning on this matter, but also, as I say, those other police forces investigating, for instance, the flight in and out of the UK by Epstein's plane, where it's alleged that women were being trafficked to meet Andrew. And there is also an investigation going on in the Met Police, in the Diplomatic Protection Corps, trying to speak to officers who travelled for security reasons with Andrew and Epstein, and to, of course, that island in the Caribbean to see what it is that they were witness to. So this is an unprecedented crisis for the royal family. We use that word sometimes too often in journalism, but there hasn't been a member of the royal family, senior member of the royal family, ever arrested. The last one was detained, was some 350 years ago, a child of King Charles II. This, it really is at the level of the kind of abdication crisis, which was almost a century ago in terms of how much damage this could do for the royal family. And this might just be the start, because they've been searching those properties in Windsor and in Norfolk today. They have got hold of Andrew's electronic devices, and those could yield yet more problems for him.
As you've been talking, Vincent, just looking at that photograph of him now, it's an extraordinary news photograph. He looks like he's in an absolutely catatonic state in the back of that police car. Fantastic analysis, as always, Vincent. Thanks so much for coming on, mate. Vincent McAviney, our UK correspondent.
A few texts to the effect of what Vincent was talking about, but transposed to the Australian theatre. People asking, well, does this facilitate anyone's move from being a monarchist to a Republican in Australia? Is it sort of the final straw? If it's an existential crisis in the UK, is it one here for the Commonwealth? We're going to get into that after 6:30. If you've got thoughts on it, we'd like to hear from you. 8223 You can text us on 0448 08 1395. Goodwood Quality Meats meat tray this morning. We had a great chat with Jeff Kennett yesterday about South Australia. Feels like a lifetime ago, given everything that's happened in the last 24 hours.
We haven't even talked about the news poll yet.
The MotoGP being pinched from Victoria, Phillip Island, coming to South Australia with, yes, a street circuit. And I got you, David, reminiscing with Jeff Kennett about an old Victorian slogan.
Our slogan was on the move. There's no point standing still. There's no point going backwards.
On the move. Well, lots has changed. The MotoGP, lowest unemployment rate in the nation right now in South Australia. What should be our state slogan? If we're updating it for 2026, giving it a bit of a zhuzh up. Not even sure what it is right now. 8223 text us on 0480 08 1395. What's your version of on them? Does it have to be 3 words, or can it just be...
it can be as many words as you want.
It can be as long as you like.
It can be comical, it can be silly, it can be archly pointed in the current political environment. For example, if you're reading either of the polls, the one in the Tiser or the Australian today, you might come up with something like, "Welcome to Malistan." Can we just rename the state after the Premier? But big shout out to the bakery boys at Villies. I was talking to one of my mates who works here yesterday at school pickup, and he said, me and the boys were saying, Dave, at work yesterday, or work this morning, this was yesterday, couldn't the state just save a whole lot of money if it just cancelled the election? We all know what's going to happen. What's an election cost? $50 million?
Yeah, Yeah, well, we know who's going to win.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we know how the Parliament's going to look. I think actually that's more of a live question that's been in a long, long time.
In all seriousness, I don't know if we'll be able to do this today, but next week, we'll do this Monday, because we're pretty all chockers today. We need to talk to a constitutional expert. Has there ever been a state election in Australia where there hasn't actually been a formal opposition?
It's in play. It's within the realm of possibilities after that extraordinary news poll yesterday. 19 after 6, second lowest unemployment rate in the nation. WA's just pipped us, by the way, but, it's got a 3 in front of it, which is ridiculous, frankly. 19 after 6.
Ambulance ramping is putting you and your family in danger.
It's gone on too long.
Family First will take the pressure off healthcare and they'll put it on the major parties. Your family's health must come first.
Vote 1, Family First.
Authorised by Lyle Shelton, Family First Party, Norwood.
Mark Boris is the mentor who keeps choosing stories over spreadsheets and keeps feeding those big ideas. So keep good company with the Mentor podcast.
City Discount Tires. Get saving now with City Discount Tires. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires. Join Anglicare SA and Adelaide United for the annual soft toy toss at Cooper Stadium Friday, February 20. Anglicare SA is the official matchday partner as the Reds take on Perth Glory.
Anglicare SA is calling on all fans to bring a new soft toy or teddy bear. What you do is you toss it onto the pitch at halftime. Every donated toy will go to a South Australian child in need, bringing comfort to families who are doing it tough.
And if you can't make it to the game, you can still make a difference. Donate online at anglicaresa.com.au/soft toy toss.
Make sure you visit Anglicare SA in the Family Park before kick-off to learn more about their vital community services. And if you forget your soft toy, well, don't worry, you can still grab one at the Anglicare SA marquee.
So let's fill the pitch with kindness. Bring a soft toy and toss it at halftime. Friday, February 20 at Cooper Stadium.
5AA is celebrating what makes Adelaide truly special. Local businesses across our city, north, south, east and west.
Well, we're celebrating great South Australian local businesses and this one's a favourite of mine. Budget Car and Truck Rental. Joining us, Director Angela Murphy. Angela, welcome.
Thank you, Rowie. Thanks for having me.
40 years,
yes.
Family owned.
People do think, budget rent-a-car, global business, but they don't realise that it's our family own it and run it locally.
And all the way up through the NT, through Alice, all the way up to Darwin.
Yes.
I think 25 locations across these two states.
Yes, so we've got 3,000 vehicles across that many locations.
I've never been to one of your locations from the airport to Salisbury to Wingfield, anywhere where you haven't had the car that I wanted. And your fleet range, there's vehicles like Corollas or Camrys, there's all the hybrids, Prados, Utes, the vans, the Hiluxes, but all those moving trucks.
With those moving vans, you can drive them on a normal car licence. They're pretty easy to operate.
Easy to operate.
We've got the variety of fleet, 8-tonne Pantex and refrigerated freezer vehicles.
Angela, 25 locations. I reckon I know them all, but I'm going to leave that to you.
We are spread around the metropolitan Adelaide, which is Wingfield, Salisbury, Clemsick, Morfett Vale, Milestone, and we've just moved to our new location at 230 Pulteney Street, and everybody can always reach us on the phone, and you know that phone number, Rowie.
Angela, I do. 13 27 27. Budget Car and Truck Rental. 13 27 27.
5AA, supporting local, celebrating SA.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
22 minutes after 6. Victoria on the move. We don't want to pinch the slogan and the race, so we're coming up with a new slogan for South Australia following a chat with Jeff Kennett. Mark in Largs Bay's got one for the meat tray this morning. Morning to you, Mark.
Yeah, good morning, boys. Let's take Jeff Kennett's comment a bit further with SA on the take. If it's out there, we'll take it.
on the take. It has unfortunate connotations on the take, doesn't it?
Well, Victoria could change theirs to on the take, given all the stuff we're hearing about the CFMEU over there.
$10 billion.
Staggering. There's some great ones on the text line. Andrew and Kersbrook. SA, get a piston up you. I like that. That's good. One he simply says, SA, doing it better. That's a good one, Michael. And James in Fullerton says on the run seems appropriate. SA on the run, given the Sheehan family's connection to the bikes. This is great. Pete and the Barossa. SA, it's ramping up.
Now that's
clever.
That works in a number of ways. We've had a remarkable Winter Olympics, 3 golds, 6 medals in total. Been talking about some of the extraordinary stories that have come out of it over the course of the last week. One of the great stories in this country is our next guest, Josie Baff, who won our 2nd gold at the Olympics in the snowboard cross. Josie, good morning to you. Congratulations to you, and thanks for joining us here in Adelaide.
Hey, thank you very much.
This must just be, you guys must be pinching yourself, Josie, or rather, is this what the plan was all along? It was just people like me who weren't paying enough attention, didn't realise how good we were at winter sports.
No, it's definitely my plan all along. It's been a long time coming, I believe. And yeah, I mean, I see all the other athletes all the time. We train together, a lot of us in Jindabyne. So I had high hopes, but it is kind of hard to believe for a lot of Australia because they're not in that world with us.
Yeah, because we've always sort of thought of ourselves as almost like the Jamaican bobsledders, like the nation that shouldn't even really be there, although I know we do have, like, you know, snow in Victoria, but it's not part of our lives for most of us. But tell us about your event, and, you know, you must be thrilled with how well you did.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely super excited. My event is basically BMX on snow, and it can be very unpredictable, and things can easily go south pretty quickly. It's like a very sudden death kind of thing because of the knockout rounds. So you have to be super consistent, and it's definitely challenging. Like, I mean, I have these goals and I know I am able to achieve them, but to actually achieve them is something else entirely. It's really special because it's so unpredictable. You have to actually like make sure everything goes perfectly, and there's so many things that you can control, but also a lot that you can't. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to try and control the process enough to be able to have the outcomes and the results that, you know, you can have.
Can you get to the level you have as an Olympic champion, Josie, exclusively training in Australia, or for an event like yours, do you have to go overseas? And I asked that thinking about, you know, that extraordinary footage of our ski jumpers having to jump into pools in Australia to train because of the lack of climate we have for winter sports.
Yeah, no, I started traveling like specifically for snowboard cross in my sport from when I was like probably like 15. I went over and started competing overseas, and I think it's definitely a crucial part. You can definitely get quite far with like your skills growing up, and like, I mean, I didn't really ever miss like a lot of school to like, some people, you know, move entirely to a country where there's snow, but I was going for like about a month each year, like on family holidays with my parents, and my dad was a snowboard coach and running snowboard camps. So I was doing that as I was growing up. And then, around 15, 16, I went over and started actually like competing and taking it more seriously. So yeah, it's definitely like we train at home, but we only really have access to it for about a month at home with the snow levels. You need a fair bit to build a track. So we have to travel a lot.
Makes the achievement all the more remarkable. Wow. Josie, congratulations to you, Olympic champion. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Josie Baff, the snowboard cross gold medalist. They're great stories.
Yeah.
Australian stories out of it. They're all underdog stories.
Totally.
Australians at the Winter Olympics.
Why did we get our act together, Will, and enter something?
Well, no talent, unfortunately,
well,
that was the
no
first.
Talent,
that was the first
case,
issue.
Quite unfit.
All right, let's go to Kim in South Brighton. Kim, what's your new updated South Australian logo? Not logo, slogan.
Yeah, I thought about the great work Mally's done, and I thought about the name Driving Change because it's got a play on golf, the motorbikes, and also the supercars, and it's all about driving change in our mindset in South Australia.
Driving change, yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that consultants would charge about $5,000 an hour for, Kim.
That was good stuff. All right, let's go to Blake's Crossing. Russell, good morning.
Morning, James. How are we?
Good, thanks, Russ.
Good. I've got a couple. I just wanted to quickly. First one is where opportunity grows. But the one that I like is live well, lead boldly. And it's a bit about creating opportunity and also appeal to attracting talent from interstate instead of losing it as we normally do.
Tell you what, these are very cerebral and sensible entries.
Do you know what they are? There's no way we would have gotten 28 minutes into a show 10 years ago asking what the state slogan should be with one of them being positive.
No, none of them
We've
would
just
have
had
been positive.
we've just had half of them be positive.
Most of them are positive on the text line.
I know. What's happened to you people? Used to be such
Are
cynics.
people happy to be South Australians all of a sudden? With
That's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Our defining characteristics meant to be a sense of insecurity in SA.
I reckon that says something, actually. Let's Tom Wren's in the 5AA Breakfast Studio. Let's talk sport. Order a new glider or garage door before the end of Feb, and the operator's free. T's and C's apply. Morning, Rennie.
Morning, boys. Well, if you're feeling that positive about it, maybe you'll leave the state government or someone in the state some money in your will.
What about this story?
That's what Collingwood's asking you to do. So let me just read a little bit of this letter that's gone out to Collingwood members. If you already have a will, it's easy to make changes so your legacy can include Collingwood. You don't need to always start from scratch. Your solicitor may be able to add a short document called a codicil. Is that the right pronunciation for that word?
I don't know. Jesus, they sound like a bunch of parasites, don't
To
they?
include your gift. Anyway,
One
on
of
it
those
goes.
tone-deaf things I ever and grubby and low rent that I can ever remember a football club doing.
It's not great, is it?
Lots of people
Apparently
use last
they
night.
sent it out to in all of their fans who, on the basis of lifestyle or nutrition, were in a high-risk category, so that's everyone over the age of 10.
They actually sent it to everyone over 50.
Yeah, I know.
They sent it to everyone over 50.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people, you would have had them online last night as well. We had them on 7. People with family members who are terminally ill going, oh, that's nice. I got a letter from the club. What is it saying? Oh, here's how to update my will.
Well, that's it. Imagine if you're having chemo or something. You know,
And your tolerance for BS at that stage of your life is generally pretty low. You know,
Totally.
And then
it's
you
like
get a letter
ambulance
like that.
chasing.
Yeah.
Well, and by the way, they're not the poorest club in the AFL.
No.
In fact, by the numbers, they're the richest sporting club in Australia.
Yeah.
Do they need another Emirates Centre, maybe?
Well, if it was North Melbourne, you'd sort of go, oh yeah,
I'd say yeah, that's
Oh,
all
yeah.
right.
yeah.
Well, if it was North Melbourne, you'd get a letter going, have you ever thought about selling one of your kidneys?
Yeah.
Well, I was also thinking, look, and Collingwood's one of the more successful clubs in recent times. They've at least, won premierships, etc. But for some footy clubs, St Kilda, North Melbourne, although North Melbourne late nighters were right, you'd almost be saying, you owe me.
Yeah,
The pain you put me through, the torture you put me through, you owe my kids.
I think that's fair.
When
But-
Collingwood supporters die, do they go to the afterlife or because they hate travelling? They never travel. Do they?
Yeah, they don't play. They're not playing in the afterlife.
Well, they're playing at home.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Good on you, Reddy.
Good on you, boys.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 33 today with the 6:30 news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Hands you can trust and state-of-the-art facilities. Physio Extra, tailoring care for you. PhysioExtra.com.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the brother of King Charles, has just been released from custody after being arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. British police are searching addresses in Berkshire and Norfolk, including the Royal Lodge in Windsor, where the former prince lived until recently. Police had previously confirmed they were investigating allegations Andrew passed on sensitive trade documents to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, but he hasn't been charged. The family of late Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre say they celebrated upon hearing the arrest. Sister-in-law Amanda telling the BBC they hope it will open up a further probe into the sexual assault allegations.
We celebrated in that moment and we were just like awestruck. And then the wave of emotions hit you because usually we can call her and, scream with her on the phone and jump up and down with her and just get to tell her like how proud we are.
Back home, and a man will face court today charged over that photography studio fire in Chester Street on Wednesday night. The 31-year-old of no fixed address was arrested yesterday afternoon and charged with arson. The blaze destroyed the 20-year-old studio, including thousands of irreplaceable photos. Overseas gas companies are being accused of exerting too much power over the Australian market. A high level of gas exports are being blamed for rising energy costs. Research by the think tank Influence Map shows Japanese firms have had more than 20 meetings with ministers and officials since Labor came to power. Report author Jack Herring says there shouldn't be an undersupply of gas in Australia.
Over 80% of Australia's gas is directed overseas. some of which is then resold to third countries at a profit. And when sort of seen in that context, it's pretty clear that we don't have a gas supply problem, we have a gas export and corporate lobbying problem.
Accused High Country killer Greg Lynn is making a bid for freedom as a fresh murder trial looms. The former Jetstar pilot has applied for bail as he awaits retrial over the alleged murder of camper Carol Clay. The 59-year-old was sentenced to 32 years behind bars in November 2024 before the Court of Appeal ruled in December last year that his conviction should be set aside. A date for the retrial hasn't yet been set. Big data operators want Australia to change its copyright laws or risk missing out on meaningful AI investment. More from Gabrielle Hodson.
Big Tech has made a direct pitch saying Australia is an attractive investment destination with its stability, connectivity and focus on renewables in an energy-hungry industry. The head of AI company Anthropic has met with Australia's Assistant Technology and Digital Economy Minister, saying delayed copyright law changes are preventing it and other AI giants from training their models on Aussie data. Australia's largest data centre operator has told the Financial Review they want legislation that protects and rewards artists, writers and other creators while supporting AI innovation. The Technology Council has taken it a step further, lobbying for text and data mining exemptions in copyright laws.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Order a new Gliderol garage door before the end of Feb and the operator is free. T's and C's apply.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Jess. The AFL's independent concussion spotters could be handed the power to rule out players directly from the ARC system. The proposal will be taken to club bosses and could be in place by the opening round. Meantime, the Crows and Port Adelaide will meet in a trial match tonight at Alberton. You can hear that match live right here on 5AA. It starts at 5:30pm. Well, Pakistan cricketers will reportedly not be considered by Indian-owned sides for next month's 100 auction. Players from Pakistan have not featured in the Indian Premier League since 2009, and that's because of diplomatic tensions between the two countries. Meantime, Australia will take on Oman in their final group game at the T20 World Cup tonight. Regardless of the result, the Aussies have been knocked out of the competition. To soccer now, Nottingham Forest have recorded a big 3-0 win against Fenerbahce in the first leg of their knockout tie in the Europa League. The sealing goal coming early in the second half.
And Gibbs White again. This time it's in. It's 3-0. Fenerbahce protests, but it's the Nottingham Forest talisman who's done it. 3 goals, 3 goal scorers, and maybe the round of 16 awaits already.
Audio there thanks to Stan. The return leg will be played next week. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now the 5AA forecast.
Staycation for a vacation? Stay with CMAX. Visit cmax.com.au to sign up today.
Sunny and 33 today, 35 with a possible shower developing tomorrow. Showers and 27 for Sunday, sunny and 28 for Monday. Right now it's 19 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
The latest Star Discount Chemist catalogue is here with red hot summer specials. Discover Melrose Organic Green Biotic Gut Support Blend, 195 grams to support intestinal friendly flora. Just $26.99. Always read the label and follow directions for use. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
G'day, Alan Gray here. Speaking mechanic to mechanic, we all know four-wheel drive safety starts with how well a vehicle handles and stops. Too often we see four-wheel drive setting off on the big family getaway, overloaded and underprepared. It's time to get Terrain Tamer ready with the right stopping power. For safety's sake, Terrain Tamer have loads of upgraded braking solutions, including larger calipers, heavy-duty pads, dual brake boosters, rotors and braided brake lines. To find out more, go to terraintamer.com.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
From Cairns to Canberra, Perth to Port Macquarie, you can rely on Red Spot to provide the perfect ride for your next holiday. We're the only Aussie family-owned and operated car rental company in airport terminals and cities all over Australia, with a new fleet and 100% local Aussie service. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Now, it's fair to say that we all have far too much clutter at home and in the workplace, Will.
Thankfully, clutter and mess is no match for Charmin Shelving. Imagine a space where everything has its place and is easy to access. Charmin Shelving just makes life so much easier.
Don't have to imagine. I got one myself. It's my garden bench. It's great. It's many years old. Looks brand new. Bill, Georgia, Christine, they'll come to your home, office, workshop, shed, or backyard. Design, deliver and assemble the perfect storage solution in a great range of colours to suit any decor.
Everyone needs a little charmin in their life. Call in at 412 North East Road, Windsor Gardens, and take a look. In fact, their showroom and office is now next door in the big white building, so make sure you enter via Albert Street. You can jump online as well at charminshelving.com.au or take a look on Facebook.
Aussie kids are active kids, creative kids, sporty kids. Are you a Weet-Bix kid?
Who wants to go on a holiday? Dreaming of your next getaway? With travel options, the choice is yours. From powered sites for caravanners to holiday cabins, relaxing cruises and hotel escapes, there's something for everyone. And here's the best part. You bid the price you want to pay. With travel auctions, it's as simple as placing your bid, and if you are successful, hello holiday. Travelauctions.com.au or call 1300 656573. No hidden fees, just great deals.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
21 minutes to 7, indicative perhaps of the remarkable nature of the news cycle at the moment, that we've made it 39 minutes into the program this morning and haven't talked about what is, without a doubt, the most extraordinary Australian political poll, probably in the era of poll taking. You would have to go back to some very early post-Federation, pre-Second World War formative stuff to find a time when the apple cart has been upset to the extent that your news poll, David, overnight has detailed. For those just waking up, it reads like this. Primary votes. The ALP on 44. One Nation, 24. The Liberals, 14%. That's 1 in 7 people putting them first. The Greens, 12. The Liberal Party in South Australia, according to this poll, has more in common with the Greens in terms of broad appeal than it does Labor Party or One Nation. It's extraordinary.
Remarkable turnaround from the 2022 election result as well. Labor's gone up 4%. The Liberals, they got 35.7% of the vote 4 years ago when they were in power. Not only are they out of power after a term, they've lost more than 20 points off their primary support, and One Nation has gone from 2.6% at the last election to 24% if an election were held based on these figures this weekend.
Two other points. So the Advertiser have got a YouGov poll out this morning, and I think that actually provides some colour for the news poll as well, asking questions about the satisfaction level of different leaders. Ashton Hearn, I think, like most people at first blush would probably say, well, yeah, she's been better than her predecessors. Well, yeah, the polling actually on her individually is really good. Satisfaction 40 for her v 22 for Vincent Tarzia last time that data was taken. The net rating is +7. Now you go, well, that's pretty good. In that same time, Peter Malinowski's net rating has come down 16 points. So well, that seems to be working well. The South Australian Liberals seem to be a victim of the fact that there is this national wave of One Nation support washing over South Australia, and because of her predecessors, there wasn't enough ballast to keep their head above water.
Or policy work.
Well, that's right.
What's your favourite Liberal Party policy? Sorry to put you on the spot like that. We've got the Professor of Constitutional Law from the University of Sydney, Anne Toomey, on the line now. Professor Toomey, thank you so much for joining us. We were just ruminating earlier because on these figures, particularly the news poll figures, there is actually a chance that in our 47-seat lower house, our House of Assembly, that the Liberals don't retain a single seat, or maybe just retain one seat, say. Mm-hmm. Constitutionally, what happens if there is no formal opposition, or if numerically there's no opposition?
Well, constitutionally it doesn't matter. So the Constitution doesn't actually require there to be a formal opposition party or a leader of the opposition. It's the practical problem that's an issue here. So there would be real problems in terms of how you run Parliament. Because in order to, keep things in order and make the wheels work, you need to have, party whips and coordination between the government and the opposition to work out, what motions are going to be debated when and how to order things and all the rest of it. So if you didn't have a proper opposition, if you just had a range of independents, for example, there would be problems there. And the other problem would also be...
Sorry to jump in. That is the likely scenario, that there will be a clutch of independents and then however many Liberal MPs, somewhere between 0 and 13 based on current numbers?
Well, look, if you had whichever party had the most number of seats would probably still form a formal opposition, even if they were outnumbered by independents. So you probably would have an opposition. But if they couldn't marshal the numbers to, there are issues about, say, for example, a quorum. Do you have enough people in the chamber and how do you organise that? But there are also issues about scrutiny. And so one of the things about political parties is that by joining together and getting your various staff members, etc., together, it gives you a sufficient mass to analyse what it is that the government's doing and make a decision as to whether to vote for or against it. Very, very hard to do that if you're just an independent with, a couple of staff members.
Yeah.
And so the level of scrutiny of government would probably go down if you've got a whole lot of scattered independents rather than some sort of party to do that. Now, if that did turn out that it was the case, it's probably likely that like-minded independents would come together with some kind of collective agreement in order to get that kind of analysis and support going in order to be able to make the system functional. So even though they mightn't be a party, it could be like a loose federation or confederation of people to try and give yourself the level of support to properly scrutinise government, because otherwise if your opposition is just a whole lot of separate individuals, people always criticise the party system, and I can understand why, but parties are actually really important in order to provide stability and, to maximise the resources in order to be able to properly scrutinise government. So if you don't have that, then you end up with governments that aren't very good because they've got no real opposition. So all up, you want a good opposition and a strong opposition in order to make government good.
It's a fascinating analysis, Professor. Professor Ann Toomey there, the head of constitutional law at the University of Sydney. Thanks for that.
I was speaking with a Liberal last night who's been involved in the running of campaigns previously and made the point, key, I think, not to be overlooked, logistical point about that poll result so close to the election last night. There will be a real problem with morale in the Liberal Party after that. And you still need to find people to hand out how to vote cards, people to go and, stand with MPs and wave sandwich boards on the side of the road, scrutineers on election day. There's a whole range of things.
A lot of those people did walk away last year after the federal result too.
Yes.
Like a lot of people said, I'm not wasting my life anymore doing this.
That's right.
Where they lost every single seat in suburban Adelaide federally. The flip side, though, Will, is there's a lot of people in the Labor Party who don't like this inevitability vibe and are worried too that this could generate some sort of sympathy vote, or to the Professor's point, the sense that you only get really good government when you've got an effective opposition.
So the risk being...
What's government look like with no opposition?
Actually, just scary thought.
What's question time look like?
So the risk is...
Maybe Coots can ask all the questions.
In the Premier's eyes then, from what you're saying, would be a scenario where maybe someone who goes, I really want Malley to get in. Malley is getting in. I don't want him to have no opposition. I'll vote for Ashton's all right. I'm not terrified of her.
The positive in both these polls, and the Advertisers poll and the News poll, as you said, is that no one hates Ashton Hearn.
Yes. So no one feels bad about parking their vote with her.
Yeah.
The problem is, and I read Kevin Bonham, the psephologist, making observations about that strategy.
I thought he was the drummer in Led Zeppelin.
Do you remember the WA election where the Libs almost got totally destroyed? In the last
where they conceded defeat before polling day.
Well, but do you know what? Everyone remembers they conceded defeat. Do you remember what their line became? It became what we're saying right now. They started saying, they're going to win anyway. You don't want there to be no opposition. And it didn't work. It backfired spectacularly.
Was it the we need an effective opposition backfired spectacularly, or was it the I know we've lost that backfired spectacularly?
Well, I mean, it's kind of one and the same, isn't it?
But can you make the warning without conceding? Or does it make you sound like
I think you sort of are.
Yeah.
Remarkable situation. 0 seats. We're not talking about WA. We're not talking about what has more seats than the Liberal Party, a Tarago. We're saying what has the same amount of seats as the Liberal Party? A toothbrush.
Yeah, well, crazy times. Crazy times.
Frank and Birkenhead, you got a slogan for the state, mate. Good morning.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, before I start, I want to slip this one in. And I think you'll know who I'm talking about before I get to tell you what I think's a great steak, Logan. Like father, like son, they're always a pleasure to listen to. You know who I'm talking about. Welcome to
Frank.
SA. Mine's welcome to SA, the state of great things to see and do.
Love it.
State of great things to see and do. I like that, Frank.
Man, everyone feels so good about SA.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Frank.
What a nice exercise this has been.
Yeah.
What an era to be alive. I always thought South
All
Australia...
on the text line. Our good mate Kaz in Brompton. SA, forget the rest. SA, the events capital of the world. I like this one from our great mate Rob. Welcome to SA, where Victoria moved to. That's good. When are we getting to Melbourne Cup?
That's a terrific tourism slogan.
I really want to find this
where
one.
Victoria moved to.
Yeah. I love this one from Daniel and Glenn. SA slogan: "We used to be hooked on weed. Now we are better, and we just lead." That's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
The old 12 plant rule being checked by Daniel and Glenn there.
Great stuff. Frank's in the running to win the meat tray. So too those texters. Let's go to the Weather Bureau. Ursula Connor joins us. Ursula, good morning.
Morning.
The weather, how warm is it going to get today?
Well, we're headed for a top of 33 in Adelaide today. It was quite a warm night overnight. We lingered in sort of the mid-20s all night, but just in the last hour we've dropped down to 18 degrees today. But, yeah, mostly sunny day expected. 33 for Adelaide, 31 for Glenelg, 34 in Elizabeth. Noarlunga headed for 31 and Mount Barker 33 degrees today. We could start to see maybe a little bit of high cloud pushing over the Adelaide area as we move into this evening, but largely sort of another nice day expected again tomorrow, lingering in those mid-30s. Maybe sort of some light rain starting to develop in the late evening and sort of continuing into Sunday, which looks like our potentially wet day of the week. That light rain sort of continuing for most of the day, but then some sort of more isolated, heavier showers potentially through the Adelaide area through sort of Sunday afternoon and into the evening before that sort of clears out by late Sunday.
Good stuff, Ursula. Have a great weekend and try to stay dry on Sunday.
All right, let's head to SAPOL. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes on the line. Rebecca, a man's been arrested in the city over an assault last night, or assaults plural last night.
Yes, the police were called to Grenfell Street about 9:20 last night by reports of a man behaving aggressively and punching people. Patrols were quickly on the scene and arrested the suspect. The two victims were two men aged in their 30s. They'd initially left the scene, which was quite understandable after being attacked by this man, but they've later come forward and reported the assaults. And fortunately, they didn't sustain any serious injuries during the incident. A 32-year-old Enfield man was charged with disorderly behaviour and 2 counts of assault. He's been refused police bail and he'll appear in the Adelaide Magistrates Court later today. So it does appear to be a random incident, but really quick work by police. And we'd just like to thank the public. We had lots of calls reporting these assaults at the time.
What a horrible thing. Rebecca, also a speeding driver has been arrested in the western suburbs.
Yes, so just after 3 a.m. this morning, police spotted a BMW sedan travelling at speed on Tapley's Hill Road at West Beach. We stopped the car in Nova Gardens and checks revealed that the driver was allegedly disqualified from driving and breaching bail conditions. His car was found to be unregistered and uninsured, and there was also a couple of ice pipes in the car. So the 33-year-old Davern Park man's been arrested and he's been charged with driving disqualified, driving an uninsured and unregistered vehicle and breaching his bail. He's also received a drug diversion in relation to the ice pipes. He's lost his car for 28 days. That's been impounded and he'll face court at a later date. So nothing like drawing attention to yourself when you're doing the wrong thing.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's almost like that guy didn't listen to any of the warnings he'd been given by the legal system, did he? It was almost like, it was almost as though none of those restrictions on his freedom mattered.
No.
You'd be forgiven for thinking that.
Begs the question, maybe they should have just locked him up.
All
Good
right.
stuff, Rebecca. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes.
Meat tray, thanks to Good Quality Meats. If you've got a slogan for us, we're zhuzhing it up for 2026.
Had some great chicken Kievs for dinner last night. Popped in, saw Dave yesterday afternoon. I love the chicken Kiev.
Chicken Kiev's
Sorry,
excellent.
chicken Kiev.
Kiev, yeah, that's right. You don't want to do the Russian pronunciation.
No, chicken Kiev. Chicken Kiev, spelled K-Y-I-V, not K-I-E-V.
8223 If you've got a new slogan for South Australia, we'd love to hear it.
Thanks, Will, and morning, David. At Bridgewater, got a breakdown the freeway up track near the Bridgewater ramp. Kilburn, still got that burst water main going on. Taking a while, this one. Churchill Road, the Green Junction Road intersection. That'll be awful again this morning. Avoid it if you can. And Maslin Beach, traffic lights flashing there. How unusual, something flashing at Maslin Beach. Main South Road near Tatachilla Road. Getting busy South Road, Mile End and a camera at Beckman Street, Glandore this morning. Craving a cheesy Pizza Hut stuffed crust? Right now you can upgrade your pizza with stuffed crust from just $2 on the Pizza Hut app. Limited time, T's and C's apply, only on the Pizza Hut app. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hey, ChatGPT.
Hey there, Lisa. So tell me honestly, how are you really going?
ChatGPT, you're so considerate.
Aw, thank you. I'm always here to help and chat. Just let me know what's on your mind.
Quite a bit.
I'm sorry to hear that. If you want to share what's been going on, I'm here to listen.
Oh, where do I begin? Well, it's my relationship.
Getting more emotional support from ChatGPT than your partner? Book a free 15-minute call with Resolve Divorce today.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Now, do you ever get behind the wheel and feel annoyed, frustrated, angry? You might even wonder why people can't indicate, or maybe it'd be nice to have a destination that you actually look forward to.
Sounds like you might need a holiday to hit the road out on a wide open highway looking across boundless territory or winding through world-class national parks and overflowing waterfalls.
How good is the Northern Territory?
It's so beautiful.
Set up camp under a billion stars with no one else around. Test your rig on some of the best tracks in the country. If this sounds like you, your best bet is to head north, where vast open roads let you leave the rage behind.
Road trip differently in the Northern Territory. Head to northernterritory.com to find out more.
Whatever your morning looks like, own it with Up and Go Liquid Breakfast. Braving the bus or carving a wave, battling rush hour or feeling the rush of your favourite trail. Fueled with the protein, fibre and vitamins you need to get up and go.
5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Five minutes to 7. We're taking your slogans for the state. Jeff Kennett, Victoria on the move. We spoke to him yesterday with the MotoGP being on the move to Adelaide, and he reflected on that slogan and how the fortunes of both states have changed in recent years. So we're taking your slogans for South Australia this morning, thanks to Goodwood Quality Meats. Doug in Blakeview has one for us. Morning, Doug.
Yeah, so maybe SA, watch us bloom. No, hang on. That might not be so good at the moment.
That's good. That one needs to be workshopped, Doug.
Yeah.
Problematic, but an excellent Metro Friday entry.
They wouldn't be wanting that one to be used on the western side of York Peninsula right now.
Terrible. 4 minutes to 7. In this suite of remarkable international news stories in the last 24 hours, Prince Andrew being arrested, the amazing changing landscape of Australian politics, easy to miss a big developing international story, the build-up of US defence assets on bases in Europe and the Middle East appears to be foreshadowing action against Iran in the event that the ongoing negotiations about the Iranian nuclear program fail to meet the United States' expectation of what they'd like to see Iran do in a disarmament sort of sense. The Wall Street Journal reporting this morning that the US could be ready to move by this weekend. Dr. Jessica Ganower from the Flinders University joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Doctor, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How much of this do you interpret as saber rattling, and how close are we to an actual hot conflict, do you think, in the Middle East over Iran?
So I think the answer is a little bit of both. I think on the one hand, we're very close to a sort of short, sharp military strike from the US into Iran, and that could be a strike on missile sites or another strike on a nuclear site, such as we saw last year. But I don't think that we're close to an ongoing or escalating conflict between the US and Iran in the Middle East. I think President Trump will be quite keen. I think there will be a military strike more likely than not with the build-up we're seeing. But I think President Trump, from everything we've seen of his behaviour so far in the second administration, he really likes sort of short military, attacks and is not likely to get engaged in an ongoing or escalatory engagement with Iran.
Do you think it will be all, as Will was outlining there, Dr. Genoa, military rather than regime change? I mean, there's no Venezuelan option for this, is there?
Exactly. I think that's exactly right. So I think because the US is very unlikely to put US boots on the ground in Iran, in fact, I would kind of completely rule that out at this stage, we're really not going to see the US able to affect regime change, because degrading the Iranian regime's military capability is one thing, and it will make Iran less able to be effective within the region. So Iran might be degraded in terms of their ability to shoot missiles into the region, for example. But it's actually very hard to degrade a domestic security apparatus without putting military personnel into the country. So there's only so much you can do with military strikes, which is essentially what President Trump is likely to favour, in terms of really being able to undermine the security power of a regime. And the Iranian regime has a very, very strong security apparatus that operates inside the country. And I don't think that actually President Trump would be able to affect regime change with military action.
Great analysis, Dr. Genoa. Thank you so much for coming on. Dr. Jessica Genoa, the Flinders University Associate Professor of International Relations.
Yeah, Donald Trump has said in the last hour that it will know in the next 10 days. So something may be imminent.
What going on?
There's a lot going on. 5AA News time. We're going to take a breath and come back with more in just a moment.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Connected to our community for 50 years. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 33 today with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Injured or living with chronic pain? Book an appointment at Physio Extra today. 6 locations. physioextra.com.
Former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been released from custody after being arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The 66-year-old was questioned by detectives for almost 10 hours. UK police say investigations into the matter are ongoing. The King has reacted to the arrest of his brother, issuing a statement. Europe correspondent Mimi Becker reports.
King Charles released a statement following his brother's arrest, saying he held the deepest concern and that the law must take its course. He added the police have his and the palace's full and wholehearted support and cooperation. The King and Queen continued their royal duties, attending Fashion Week and a music performance, and the pair did not answer any questions in public. Andrew is the first senior member of the royal family to be arrested in modern history.
Back home, and a man's been arrested after 2 shocking assaults in the city last night. Police were called to Grenfell Street at 9:20 amid reports a man was behaving aggressively and punching people. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says 2 men in their 30s were attacked.
The 2 victims were 2 men aged in their 30s. They'd initially left the scene, which was quite understandable after being attacked by this man, but they've later come forward and reported the assaults. And fortunately, they didn't sustain any serious injuries during the incident.
The 32-year-old Enfield man will face court today charged with disorderly behaviour and assault. The countdown to the state election continues. Premier Peter Malinauskas and opposition leader Ashton Hearn will take part in a leaders' debate today. It will be held at the Advertisers Future SA event at lunchtime. Each will outline their visions for the state with a keynote address before debating their views on a variety of issues. South Australians head to the polls on March 21. Concerns are being raised about a proposed overhaul of how internationally qualified dentists are approved to work in Australia. The Australian Dental Association says current accreditation rules ensure all practitioners meet consistent national safety and care standards. President, Dr Chris Sanzaro, argues proposals to fast-track dentists through exams is not the solution to the sector's shortage.
We have way too many dentists in some sections of our capital cities and certainly a significant undersupply of dentists in regional and remote Australia. And we need to focus on solutions that are going to get dentists to relocate to those areas and provide the dental services that are needed rather than letting in potentially underqualified dentists.
Half of all Australians say a holiday is the highlight they're most looking forward to in 2026, outranking major life milestones. A recent travel report suggests people are shifting toward more frequent escapes, planning an average of 4 trips across both domestic and international destinations. Webjet Managing Director Katrina Barry says travel's no longer seen as a rare luxury.
Travel's moved beyond that now to being 2 things. One, essential as a little treat. It's not just a good time and to hang out with family, it's a treat. The second thing is people are building this in as part of their mental health and wellness management.
Adelaide's own Hilltop Hoods will play the Entertainment Centre tonight and tomorrow night. They're doing 2 shows due to overwhelming demand. It's part of their Never Coming Home national tour.
I feel like Bobby Fischer, always for moves.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Order a new Gliderol garage door before the end of Feb and the operator is free. T's and C's apply.
Here's Tom.
Thank you, Jess. Footy will go up a notch tonight when Port Adelaide hosts Adelaide at Alberton for a pre-season trial. The match will begin at 5:30pm with plenty of interest in who will impress on both sides. Lockie McAndrew looks set to get first crack in ruck for the Crows, while Todd Marshall will switch into defence for the Power. Last night, St Kilda smashed Gold Coast by 71 points in a practice match, while Sydney took care of the Bulldogs by 33 points in their hit-out. Well, 16-year-old Indra Brown has qualified for Sunday morning's final of the free ski halfpipe at her maiden Winter Olympics. Shane McGuinness reports.
She's the youngest member of the Australian team at these games, and she's on the precipice of winning an Olympic medal. With a first run of 80.75, Indra Brown improved on that with her second run, an 87.50, the Melbourne schoolgirl qualifying 4th for Sunday's final. Even more incredible is the fact Brown qualified ahead of American-born Chinese superstar Eileen Gu, who is the defending Olympic champion in the event. Gu qualifying in 5th place with a score of 86.50.
Let's get to cricket. Australia's women have beaten India by 19 runs in their second T20 clash in Canberra overnight. The home side made 5 for 163 from their 20 overs. Georgia Vole was the star with 88 from only 57 balls. In the NBL, Melbourne United has beaten the South East Melbourne Phoenix 95-91, a result that means the Adelaide 36ers will not finish lower than second. The Sixers take on the Perth Wildcats in Perth for their final regular game of the season tonight. And Adelaide United will host the Perth Glory this evening, hoping to cement a spot in the top 3. Meantime, Nottingham Forest has enjoyed a 3-0 win against Fenerbahce in the Europa League. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tommy. Let's check the traffic.
Morning there. A Bridgewater breakdown to look out for this morning. The freeway up track near the Bridgewater ramp. Kilburn still got their burst water main getting sorted. Taken a while, this one. Churchill Road at Green Junction Road. 3 lanes down to 1. Already busy this morning. Best bet today, avoid it if you can. Quite busy South Road Mile End with the camera Stephen Terrace Gilberton. MG's mega celebration. Get the MG3 from $20,990 or the ZS Vibe from $22,990. T's and C's apply. See your MG dealer today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Staycation for a vacation? Stay with CMAX. Visit cmax.com.au to sign up today.
Sunny and 33 today, 35 with a possible shower developing tomorrow. Showers and 27 for Sunday, sunny and 28 for Monday. Right now it's 18 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide.
All I need is a miracle. All I need
5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
all I need is you.
7:07, good morning to you. You're joining us for the very first time on this Friday, the 20th of February. So much going on around Adelaide, Australia and the world. We just finished a chat with a Flinders University international relations expert about the chance that this weekend we could see US action against Iran in the Middle East. We spoke with a constitutional expert in the first hour about what does an Australian parliament, in this instance, a South Australian Parliament look like? How does it work if there is no opposition? If there is a major party reduced to 0 seats, that is something that is well within the realm of possibilities given the news poll that came out yesterday. The South Australia on the front page of the Oz. Good day for South Australians to buy the Oz this morning. David won't say it because he's too, he's too humble. But if you like...
The Tigers has got an interesting poll as well, which is not quite as bleak, but still very bleak.
Well, they're still third.
The other thing that is in play now is the likelihood of One Nation lower house candidates winning in regional SA, and there is also a very plausible scenario where there are a handful, perhaps, of One Nation MPs in the lower house, more One Nation MPs than Liberal MPs, which would make One Nation.
That would be the opposition.
The opposition.
But this is fanciful, folks. This is not fanciful. You look at an election pendulum, you can work it out for yourself right now. No one's beating this up.
No.
14%, you don't exist.
Yeah. Well, the pendulum I use is the Abraham pendulum. And as I was writing my stuff yesterday at home for the Oz, I had Matt's printout, and I was going, crikey, if you overlay that on, there's only really 2 seats that look impervious to a literal translation of a 14% vote.
Well, do you want to do the best?
Actually, none of them do.
Do you want me to give you the best recent world example of what a 14% vote looks like?
Yes.
Nick Xenophon in 2018.
Didn't win a seat.
SA Best got 14, famously got up to 33 in a poll, so maybe a cautionary tale for One Nation as well, but they got 14.15% of the vote. Didn't get a single seat.
It's extraordinary. The biggest story in the world right now, though, is happening in the UK, where overnight the royal, formerly known as Prince Andrew, was placed under arrest by British police. Ben Downey is the UK correspondent for 7 News, and he's currently at Wood Farm. Ben, good morning. What is the latest with Andrew's arrest?
Hey, guys, good morning. Well, I think we better start off by saying this is really nothing short of an historic day in the UK. The first time a member of the royal family has been arrested in close to 400 years. So we really can't overstate the gravity of this. Now, that Wood Farm, that is the address that Andrew's been exiled to by his brother after these Epstein files revelations kept coming out. And it's here at 8 in the morning when police arrested him on his 56th birthday. But now, 11 hours later, after all this questioning, he's been released from a police station. Quite an unflattering photo taken of him from a press photographer there for the BBC as he was leaving the police station. He's returned home now, released under investigation for the suspicion of misconduct in public office. Now, your listeners, they're going to be probably more familiar with a lot of the accusations against Andrew from the late Virginia Roberts Defray, who accused him of having sex with her when she was a minor. They might be aware of the allegations against him for potential human trafficking and putting women on private jets and flying them to his royal residences with the help of Jeffrey Epstein. This charge, this is different. So Andrew, for a period of around 10 years, was the UK's trade envoy. Effectively, he was representing the UK, putting a royal rubber stamp on a lot of trade deals, adding a lot of legitimacy to a lot of his overseas summits and conferences. But during this time, these Epstein files have revealed that he was forwarding on documents to the pedophile, the human trafficker, about trade reports into certain countries on his official visits in certain locations as well. That prompted a police probe. More than a week now later, we've had police swoop at his address. Police haven't made any remarks about whether they're going to be investigating him further since the arrest about those other relations into human trafficking and the like as well. But he's now been released under investigation. What that means is they very likely have seized his devices or many devices, many documents from his home and his old home, Royal Lodge, the one he was kicked out of, that 31-room mansion as well. Police raided that property too. So now it could be a matter, if he's charged, it could be a matter of days, it could be a matter of weeks or even longer. It's going to have to wait until police go through all of this information and curate it and put forward a brief of evidence, really. But if he is charged with misconduct in public office, the maximum sentence is life in prison. That's how serious this is. So if he's arrested and convicted, the first member of the royal family to be jailed in centuries. That's why it's being seen as the greatest crisis facing the modern monarchy.
Under the British system of government, similar to ours, Ben, with the Crown being the head of state, the the courts, the police are all sort of branded. I mean, we have the term King's Council here, Queen's Council here in Australia. The royal family is utterly intertwined throughout the legal system in the UK.
You've hit the nail on the head.
So that puts the royal family in a direct conflict. How are they going to manage that?
Well, it's not so much the royal family, it's the authority of the crown and of the king. So because Prince Andrew is no longer a royal, it makes this process easier. But you're right. I mean, when the police officers, they're officers of the crown. The prosecution service is the crown prosecution service.
Yeah.
The king's courts, they act on his majesty's pleasure. That's how this works. So should he be charged, he is going to be investigated by the power of the crown. So it's effectively the king investigating through his own powers his younger brother, which is quite a remarkable set of circumstances to take place. Now, His Majesty King Charles has actually put out a statement. I'll read it for you now. He says today, "I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and the suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I've said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation." He finishes writing, "Let me state clearly, the law must now take its course." So he's really trying to step back from this. So historic is this. Everyone's wanting to make sure every T is crossed, every I is dotted on this, and there has to be justice has to be seen to be done should Andrew be actually found guilty of any of these crimes as well. So incredibly tenuous, incredibly precious set of circumstances here, precarious really for the royal family, but they're trying to proceed on. We'll just have to wait and see whether Andrew is charged on this charge of misconduct in public office, or if they find other information on his devices that they might charge him with other claims against him, like the likes of Virginia Roberts Giuffre made against him too. So we're just at the beginning of this saga right now.
Just one final one, Ben. Factions might be too strong a word for it. Schism might be too strong a word for it too. But is there a sort of gap between what King Charles would think of this versus what Prince William would think of this? Because there's a lot of people now who are saying that in hindsight, I don't think it's fair to pin it all on the Queen, because the Duke could have done something too. But there's a bit of a sense that the Royals have been running a bit of a protection racket for this pervert for decades. You never know how true these things are, but I've read so-called royal experts say that William has an unabiding disgust for his uncle and thinks that a tougher line should be taken. Is that a factor in this too?
Yeah, William and Kate have really made no sort of, hint about the fact that they can't stand Andrew. I mean, they're the patron of multiple charities that try to combat violence against women, sort of accusations that have been levelled against him. But the king himself, I mean, he has been one of the larger critics of Andrew as well. You mentioned the late Queen. Well, the reason why this is so difficult for the royal family as well is that trade envoy position, the place that has now got Andrew into such trouble with the law. The Queen was the one that nominated him and sponsored him for that role, and it was the PM at the time, Tony Blair, that with the Queen put him in this job. Now, at the time, King Charles was one of the people, if you're going to use the word faction, he was from the other party. He was saying, no, Andrew is not fit to conduct a role like this. All he's going to do is go around the world and sort of party with models on the company dime, on the government dime, and it's really what is seen to have happened in a lot of these cases. Of course, Andrew denies any wrongdoing in this case as well, but it appears the King, the Prince and Princess of Wales, they're of the same mind on this. The Prince and Princess of Wales today came out saying that they support the King's statement. It's just Andrew has so few remaining friends now, even his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson. I mean, she might very well be dragged into this. Her name's all through the Epstein files. Their daughters, Beatrice and Eugenia, they're saying they're finding it incredibly uncomfortable and they're finding it difficult to talk to their parents as well. So Andrew's really on an island by himself. It's going to be difficult for him to even fund his legal defence. He doesn't really have an income anymore, and he's been stripped of a lot of his assets too. So it is, if he didn't have any allies there are few and far between now.
Great report, Ben. Ben Downey in the UK for 7 News at Wood Farm. Thank you.
8223 is the number for the meat tray this morning, thanks to Goodwood Quality Meats. If you've got a slogan for South Australia, we'd love to hear it, because some terrific and very creative ones coming through 8223 and on the text line 048008 1395. A lot of people this morning in the context of Andrew have referenced this being the first time a royal has been arrested in nearly 400 years. To give you a sense of how different the world was the last time a royal was arrested, it was another Charles, actually. It was Charles I. in the 1600s and the 17th century who was quarrelling with the English Parliament at the time, who he still had a view, Charles I, that as a king you have a divine right to rule. You have a God-conferred right to be the king and make decisions. And the Parliament was saying, Charlie, we've kind of moved past that. There was an English civil war as a result. He was tried and executed. That's how long it's been between royals being arrested.
Who made you king? I didn't vote for you. So many great slogans coming through. Teresa in Camden Park, My Choice Boys SA, ramp it up. The SA on the move. I've gone too far down. Oh, I've done something to my computer, Will. I need a young person here to help me.
All right, how about we take a break? We'll check traffic. You can some time for calls too if you'd like to win the meat tray thanks to Good Quality Meats. We'll get to some more of your entries in just a moment.
Morning there at Kilburn. Seeing delays already with that burst water main. Taking a while to fix this one too. Churchill Road near the Grand Junction Road intersection. Just avoid that this morning. It'll be super slow again. Near Bridgewater, a breakdown. The freeway up track near the Bridgewater ramp and Maslin Beach. Traffic lights flashing there. Main South Road near Tatachilla Road. Camera 2, Doothie Street, Malvern. The special edition Japanese number plate auction is on. 15 rare limited edition plates are up for grabs. Bidding ends 7 p.m. Feb 23 at easyplates.sa.gov.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings. Revenge is sweet after all these years. We lost the Formula One back in, 1995. Here we are in 2026. We have stolen the MotoGP from Victoria. Let's get that reaction from Melbourne now. Russell Howcroft.
Yeah, well, South Australia's doing a fabulous job.
Graham Goodings.
Our state can't really afford any more economic hits.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Insights from SA Best's Connie Benares. What does the balance of power mean?
It's the magic number the government needs to make or break a deal.
Connie, why is it important for your party, SA Best, to have a seat in Parliament?
You insure your home, you insure your car, you insure your health. Your upper house vote ensures your democracy. When things go wrong, independents and minor parties are the ones who fix it. The upper house exists to scrutinise. If one party controls everything, it just doesn't work.
Authorised by C. Benares, 7169 Unley Road, Unley, SA 5061. Published by SA Best.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Business too small to be noticed by those global car rental companies? Well, you can rely on Red Spot to look after you. We love renting to small businesses because we used to be one. We're the only Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Red Spot.
You've built a life in your street. The neighbours know your name. The barista knows your order. But lately, you come into the conclusion that your home just isn't quite working for you. Well, not the way it could be. If you have a large block, get in touch with Metro Homes.
Metro specialise in knockdown and rebuild projects and they're helping people all over Adelaide set themselves up for a solid future.
They can replace your existing house with 2 brand new homes on the same block. One for you, designed to suit how you live now, and the other as an investment property right next door. It's a smart way to stay put while setting yourself up for the future.
Metro take care of everything too. The design, the approvals, the build, the lot. Build your future where you really feel at home. Go Metro. Visit metrohomesa.com.au.
Summer's here. Time to get your new Walco pool blanket. Made from quality materials, a Walco pool blanket will keep your pool clean, warm and reduce evaporation. Uncover the savings now. Visit walco.com.au.
Get into Agostino Mitsubishi Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes for the Triton Frenzy sale and receive $1,000 worth of free fitted genuine accessories on all Mitsubishi Triton 4x4 models.
Including the GLXR and the GSR special editions. Every eligible Triton also comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year new car warranty, 10 years cap price servicing and 10 years roadside assist.
Do not miss the Triton Frenzy sale on now at Agostino Mitsubishi Nailsworth or Mawson Lakes.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Minutes after 7. The text machine has been fixed. We have your text, but we also have some calls for the meat tray thanks to Goodwood Quality Meats. Wendy in Elizabeth, what is your slogan for South Australia?
I've been thinking about it for a while. It's popped into my head. Don't worry about the rest. SA is the best.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, well, it's got some, what do you call that, David? You're
poetic.
Some pentameter?
Yeah, that's the word.
Thank you. Ange in Two Wells, good morning.
Good morning, boys. Don't dilly-dally. Jump on board with Mally, eh? What do you reckon, boys?
all the poetry's coming out. Why not?
Excellent work, Ange.
Tony and Marion, good morning.
All the way, SA, I'll say.
Yeah.
Well,
that's inspired by Dean Brown.
Yeah, going all the way.
SA going all the way.
Maybe it's time to bring it back.
Never forget that press conference where somebody said to Dean Brown, "You're worried about the sort of double entendre here, Premier?" And he went, "I don't know what you mean." And then they sort of explained it to him, and he said, "If anyone reads anything into that, then they have a sick mind."
How did no one in the office? They must have all been cacking themselves and going, Dean doesn't understand. Well, Andrew at Prospect, good morning.
Maybe it proves the theory that a lot of people who are young Liberals are actually virgins.
Andrew at Prospect, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Mine would be where dreams become a reality.
Everyone's being so sincere. Where are our cynical listeners? I like this one from Mark in Greenwood. Thank you for that, Andrew. Mark writes, SA, not perfect, but not Victoria. That's a good one. Simon points out that on One Nation's current vote, they'll get 3 upper house MPs too.
So 8.3% I think is a quota at the moment. And if so 24%, yeah, you'd think they'll have the majority of that third quota.
Hey, has anyone had a decent look at all these candidates? 47. Of all 47 people, how many of them, are there any of them who may have a bit of a screw loose? We've seen some One Nation candidates in the past who've been a little bit colourful.
And what are the policies in South Australia again? Because I know what they are federally.
Stop immigration.
Well, that's not a state responsibility.
No,
unless we're building a wall.
Details. Yeah, let's build a wall. Big, beautiful wall.
Yeah. Walling off Victoria?
How long would it have to be? How long's the state border?
Be long and make Hadrian's Wall look like a small backyard fence.
Wouldn't that be ironic? You'd need to get all these immigrants to build it. But tell them they can only build it if they're standing on the other side.
Yeah, in Victoria. Yeah.
Keep them coming, folks.
8223 0000 or 0480 1395. Still to come. We're going to talk federal politics, taking a back seat, given the polling of the last 24 hours. But there's still plenty going on there. 9 Radio's federal political reporter Nelson Scott will be coming up after 7:30 this morning. And then a little bit later, the Premier. If you've got a question about the new MotoGP track, maybe you've got some concerns about what it's going to mean for parklands and so forth. Look, this is your opportunity.
It's going to be a major stink.
It's going to be a fight, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, though. Have you looked at the video that they released to go with this yesterday? As I said, that's why we got Sam in yesterday for Breaking 8 to hold our hand, because he's our resident rev head. I watched that video and I got genuinely excited about the idea of this race happening. Well, it's never been done anywhere in the world. It's going to be unbelievable.
Certainly will be. All right, well, that's probably a good entry point to start talking sport.
Stephen Rowe on 5AA Breakfast.
Rowie on a Friday. Good morning to you.
Oh, Pimmer, Will, good morning. AFL season 26. Well, it goes up a gear or two today at Alberton Oval. Pre-season showdown from 5:30. The maybes start at 3. We'll be there live. Few outs for the Crows and Port. Rankin, Curtin, Keane, Hinge, Archie, Drape. You'd say they're in their best team. Looking forward to Charlie Edwards and Mitch Marsh. Haven't seen them. Toby Murray's been named as well. Jake Saligo, if he lines up, he's been mysteriously absent through the last month. And they've named both ruckmen. My bet is McAndrew starts, then O'Brien's there for backup. They know what O'Brien can do, so let's see what McAndrew can.
Is O'Brien playing, Rowie? Because the Crows weirdly named a squad for the game. Port just named a 25. Crows named a 28 or 29.
They did.
And the whisper is that O'Brien doesn't play. And if he doesn't play, he's just signed a 3-year deal. Where's he at?
Well, here's the thing. I wonder if the list management had line of sight before the 3-year deal on the new ruck rule change. Because if they did...
They can't have, surely.
Well, if they did, you couldn't have done it for 3. This was always going to make Riley O'Brien struggle at centre square. It's not his strong suit. Around the ground, ball ups and throw-ins, absolutely. Getting in and taking a mark and the whatnot, linking up, getting after the opposition. Superb, A-grader, no question. But centre square is the big thing. That could be the difference between winning and losing this year. If you can get clean hand and you get the ball forward, you're starting the game on a half-forward flank, not the half-back flank. Now, they're putting a lot of weight on McAndrew. They're putting a lot of weight on centre bounce, aren't they? Because McAndrew ain't Riley O'Brien around the ground.
Well, it just seems remarkable that it's obviously going so badly. You're not even going to play him in a trial, potentially?
Well, you know what he can do. Let's face it. We've seen Riley O'Brien for 10 years. The last 3 years, he's been a best and fairest. Let's have a look at McAndrew. Let's have a look at him. It looks like they're not playing sweet either, so he's up against Vicentini, so it's going to be a great little duel, that one. But that's a watch, and you're right to say that. If they did have line of sight and signed him for 3, well, that is a question that you'd want to ask. Port Georgiadis is out, Butters, Pau Papasoldo, we know all of that. Looking forward to seeing Todd Marshall and Ram in that new-built back line. Berry up front, Vicentini will be in ruck. And I want to see with these new coaches, the refound belief. They're talking about a few tweaks. They're going to be super disciplined on getting back and getting after the ball after they lose a stoppage, which wasn't their strength. So it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. 5:30 live on AA.
Fun watching a bit of footy. No injuries. Yeah. No injuries, okay?
Please. Well, I just read the list. No, it is. We can't have any more.
Yep.
No more. Please. I'll have everything crossed.
Please do. What an image. Thank you, Rowie.
At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, they've been raising the bar on servicing. It starts with next day servicing, free loan car, free vacuum and wash, and you can enjoy a free breakfast or lunch thanks to Villies. Your car will be in expert hands with a state-of-the-art service centre and factory-trained technicians who know your vehicle inside and out. At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, we look after you and your car. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 33 today. With the 7:30 news, I'm Jess Adamson.
Hands you can trust and state-of-the-art facilities. Physio Extra, tailoring care for you. physioextra.com.
Disgraced former Prince Andrew has been released from a police station more than 10 hours after being arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was detained on suspicion of misconduct as part of inquiries into allegations he shared confidential material with late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. No charges have been laid at this stage. UK correspondent Enda Brady says it's an extraordinary fall from grace.
He is completely alone in this world now. His family have turned on him, the public hate him, and he has no one to turn to. Not to be too cruel or unkind here, this is a lot of chickens coming home to roost for Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Donald Trump has responded to the bombshell arrest. The US president telling reporters it's very sad.
Well, I'm the expert in a way because I've been totally exonerated. That's very nice. I can actually speak about it very nicely. I think it's a shame. I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family. It's a very, very sad. To me, it's a very sad thing. When I see that, it's a very sad thing.
Back home, and a man will face court today charged with assaulting 2 strangers in the city last night. Police were called to Grenfell Street just before 9:30 after reports the suspect had punched 2 men in their 30s in the face. The victims weren't badly injured. The 32-year-old Enfield man's being charged with disorderly behaviour and 2 counts of assault. And a man of no fixed address will face court charged over a large fire in the city on Wednesday night. The blaze destroyed a photography studio on Chesser Street. Eastern District detectives arrested the 31-year-old yesterday afternoon. He's being charged with arson. Tap and Pay goes live on all Adelaide Metro trains from today, with paper tickets being retired. Transport Minister Emily Burke says the upgrade means faster, simpler and more convenient travel for commuters.
If you're thinking about catching a train for the very first time, today is the day to do it. You just need to use your credit card or your phone to pay, and it's as simple as tapping and jumping on your train.
Australia Post may be forced to destroy millions of dollars worth of new uniforms after posties reported they're getting badly sunburned. A safety review has been ordered into the polo shirt, which is supposed to have an SPF 50 rating. Accused high country killer Greg Lynn is making a bid for freedom as a fresh murder trial looms. The former Jetstar pilot has applied for bail as he awaits retrial over the alleged murder of camper Carol Clay. Lawyer Justin Quill says it's possible but not likely.
The law, for obvious reasons, is set up so that it's actually really hard to get bail for a murder offence. At lower levels, it's reasonably easy, but at a murder level, you have to show exceptional circumstances, and the onus is on the defendant to prove those exceptional circumstances.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Order a new Gliderol garage door before the end of Feb and the operator is free. T's and C's apply.
Hello again, Tom Wren.
And to you as well, Jess. We're going to start with some footy. The Crows and Port Adelaide are going to face off in a match simulation trial at Alberton Oval tonight. That'll happen from 5:30. Isaac Rankin is out for the Crows with a hamstring strain. The Power will rest a couple of players too, including Mitch Georgiades and Zach Butters. Well, Jack Silvani suffered a concussion in St Kilda's 71-point thumping win over Gold Coast in their practice match last night. Meantime, Charlie Curnow booted 4 goals for Sydney in a nice 33-point win over the Bulldogs. Well, the excitement continues following the announcement South Australia will host a MotoGP event from next year in the city. Owner and managing director of The Bend, Sam Shahin, who was involved in negotiations, has told Rowie and Timmy G it's a brilliant thing.
I think in years to come and generations to come, hopefully they will look back on this day as quite transformative, not just for sport, but for the state.
It's great news. Meantime, as Formula One testing continues, world champion Lando Norris admits the new cars were certainly not the purest form of racing. And the youngest member of Australia's Winter Olympics team, 16-year-old Indra Brown, has qualified for the final of the freestyle ski halfpipe. Australia is currently sitting 13th on the medal table with 6 medals, including 3 gold. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Morning there. Seeing some big delays already due to a burst of automated Kilburn, Churchill Road at the Green Junction Road, Cavan Road intersection. Give that a miss this morning if you can. Only headaches there. Breakdowns to look out for at Bridgewater, the freeway up track near the Bridgewater ramp, and another burst at Modbury North East Road near Reservoir Road. Camera Fullerton Road in the Parklands. The big one is back until March 31. Get an unbeatable finance offer across the MY25 X-Trail range. T's and C's apply. Hurry to your Nissan dealer today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Staycation for a vacation? Stay with CMAX. Visit cmax.com.au to sign up today.
Sunny and 33 today, 35 with a possible shower tomorrow. Showers and 27 for Sunday, 28 and sunny for Monday. Right now it's 19 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Go Harvey Norman hot deals on Dyson. Hot price on Dyson V8 Origin Stick Vacuum now just $377. Save $570 on Dyson V15 Detect Absolute Stick Vac with laser technology, leaving no mess behind. Now under $900. Bundle deal on Wash G1 plus V16 Animal at just $1,349. Plus hot deal on Dyson Airstrait for fast styling without heat damage. Now only $546. Best brands, best range. There's more in store at Harvey Norman. Hot deals on Dyson on now.
Well, isn't this ideal? Prime position on the deck, blue skies, smooth seas. How good are cruises?
Make your cruise booking a breeze, and you could win a $5,000 REA travel voucher for your next holiday. Search REA Cruise today.
Whoa, watch the wings.
T's and C's exclusions and eligibility criteria apply. Promoter is REA. To enter, book and pay a deposit on a new ocean or river cruise with REA Travel by 28 February 2026. Full T's and C's available from travel.rea.com.au.
Now, in this market, houses don't hang around long, and that competition gives sellers a real chance to achieve top dollar for their property. If you want someone who really knows the Adelaide market, trust our good mate Bronte Manuel and his team at Toop and Toop.
Across Greater Metropolitan Adelaide, Toop and Toop holds more suburb records than any other South Australian real estate agency, from College Park and Nord to West Beach and Brompton and through to Mount Barker, Parracombe and St Peters. They're proud to deliver standout results right across the state.
No matter where you're selling, their focus is always the same, achieving the best possible outcome for you. If you'd like to know what your house could be worth in 2026, visit toop.com.au.
At Coles, you can get great value on fruit and veg this week. Like sweet and juicy Coles Australian cherry tomatoes, 250-gram pack, just $2.50 each. Shop in-store or online at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
When it comes to reducing pain and rebuilding strength, Kiesa leaves nothing to chance. Our university-qualified health professionals don't just treat problem areas. They design personalised training programs using Swiss-engineered machines unique to Kiesa. These machines safely isolate the affected area, test your strength, and help rebuild your muscles for a stronger, more active and healthier life. Kiesa, building strength with precision in Norwood and Glenelg.
5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
22 minutes to 8. The Premier, Peter Malinowski's coming up after 8 o'clock this morning. We've got a meat tray. He might be listening in. You never know. He might adopt the Meat Tray Friday winners' idea for a slogan for South Australia. A lot of good constructive ones have come in.
Do we actually have a state slogan?
We'll give the number plates.
Yeah, but you can pick and choose. You can
That's
get
true.
the defence state, you can get the wine state.
Yeah, we don't have a definitive one, do we?
God, I tell you what, looking at that photo of Prince Andrew, he should be the catatonic state. That is one of the most extraordinary news photos I've seen in my whole career.
Donald Trump has just given some comments that he's been asked about Andrew and so forth on Air Force One. And so these comments have just come through. Here's a little bit of what the US president has had to say on this.
Do you think people in this country at some point, associates of Jeffrey Epstein, will wind up in handcuffs too?
Well, you know, I'm the expert in a way because I've been totally exonerated. That's very nice. I can actually speak about it very nicely. I think it's a shame. I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family. It's a very, very sad. To me, it's a very sad thing. When I see that, it's a very sad thing. To see it and to see what's going on with his brother, who's obviously coming to our country very soon, and he's a fantastic man, the king. So I think it's a very sad thing. It's really interesting because nobody used to speak about Epstein when he was alive, but now they speak. But I'm the one that can talk about it because I've been totally exonerated. I did nothing. In fact, the opposite. He was against me. He was fighting me in the election, which I just found out through the last 3 million pages of documents.
I must have missed that. Which body totally exonerated? Just the president.
He did. He's the president.
Amazing, isn't it?
Wow. Are we sad about? Does anyone feel sad about seeing Andrew being arrested?
No, I don't think so. I think, though, that there are women who look at it and feel angry that all of these victims have been trying to get their voices heard. And at the moment, we've got a discarded royal on a government and diplomatic issue. But in terms of the key issue here, the treatment of women, the treatment of girls, no justice yet for anybody. No justice for any of those
I think
women.
to that question that the president actually artfully dodged, is anyone actually going to get arrested in the US over this?
Well, it feels a bit like mutually assured distraction because there's so many potential...
It feels like a protection racket.
Completely. And, you know, all the people who over the years have been laughed at for coming up with prosaic theories about what Bill Gates is really up to and stuff like that, in hindsight, you feel like maybe about 10% of what they were saying was right. It does look like a vast conspiracy involving the world's most powerful people.
I don't know how some bloke royal in the UK is the only one so far.
Yeah.
Beyond Ghislaine and Jeffrey to have been arrested.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. All right, let's get back to South Australia. We need a slogan. Mark in Happy Valley, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. How are we?
Good, thanks, Mark.
Okay, so if it's not worth seeing, it's not worth stealing.
That's good.
That's a good... The
That is excellent, Mark.
SATC, the Major Events Fund. That's excellent, Mark. Sue in South Plimpton, good morning.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm a cynic. Love your sport, just don't get sick.
No, we want the cynics too,
That's
Sue. That was a
good,
good
Sue.
one. And there's quite a lot of them coming through.
Once upon a time, this whole program was built on cynical talkback segments, and over a sudden everyone's happy.
That's right.
We're trying to readjust our radars. It's actually quite nice. Let's head to Canberra. Nelson Scott is Nine Radio's federal political reporter. We'll wrap the last week in federal politics. We just got a text, actually, Nelson. Barnaby Joyce, one of our texters, has said is in town, is in Kadina a little bit later today.
He's in Kadina, then he's going to Udunda over the weekend. Then there's the One Nation state launch Monday in Kent Town. Barnaby Joyce will be at that as well. No word on when Pauline Hanson is going to be here, but she's going to be back.
They'll need to be separate for a little while, won't they? Because they had very different comments on whether there are good Muslims in Australia or not. Barnaby Joyce very much watered down Pauline Hanson's comments. That was just one of a number of things in the public eye this week. Nelson, good morning to you.
Good morning, gents. How you going?
Yeah, we're good, thanks, Nelson. It really is a time of great upheaval. I'm sure you've seen the polls here ahead of the South Australian election today, both the News poll and the YouGov poll and the Tiser. But over the border in Victoria, they've got their own poll, One Nation ahead of the Labor Party. It's a time of total tumult in Australian politics, isn't it?
It's an incredible time to be down here. The whole conservative side of politics is changing, and that really reflects what's going to be the big challenge for Angus Taylor as he becomes leader of the Liberal Party. Despite that, he's generally had a pretty good week, I've thought. There were some criticisms when he became leader that, he isn't the greatest performer. He's been criticised for not producing strong policies at last year's election and very associated with that catastrophic defeat, as of course his deputy leader, Jane Hume. But he's communicated well. He's tried to centre the week on immigration. But ultimately that task will be, how do you restore the coalition as a credible alternative government? How are they going to find a way of being competitive with Labor and even take on One Nation? That will be decided, I suspect, by polling. Some are saying that he'll be gone by the end of the year, but others say he'll put a good showing but lose in 2028. But certainly a very, very unenviable task ahead for Angus Taylor.
Nelson, do you think he's taken any paint off the federal government with regard to the ISIS brides issue? I know Stalbo's ramped up his rhetoric, but nothing is quite as definitive as Angus Taylor's statement that the door should be slammed shut.
Yeah, look, I think Anthony Albanese's made a real point to try and look tough on this because national security has been a real weakness for Labor historically. But, I think he has, because there seems to be a mood in the community that people don't want these people home. The government's making the point that they have to be given passports. They say that's their right as Australian citizens, but they're saying that they're going to repatriate them. They're providing no assistance, but if they're able to get home, that's the thing. He said he doesn't want them to go home. This is the Prime Minister, of course. He's made the point that if they do, they will face the full force of the law, potentially facing charges of travelling to a declared terrorist zone, and he's nothing contempt for the woman. You make your bed, you lie in it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But, of course, the coalition have come out really, really hard on this. They want all of the women and children issued with temporary exclusion orders. These block someone from returning for Australia for up to 2 years. They want to see changes to the passport laws so that none of them can acquire Australian passports. John O'Donoghue even made the point yesterday. He believes there are already provisions in the Passport Act in place which allow the foreign minister to deny passports to people deemed a security threat, but they've gone very hard on it. They've accused the government of potentially assisting them. They pointed to the fact that there is a guy over there, a prominent Islamic leader named Jamal Rifi. Mr. Rifi has links to Tony Burke. He ran a campaign to assist with his re-election. The government's denied that Mr. Rifi's over there on their request and he's gone of his own accord, but the coalition are looking for answers on that front, given his links to Tony Burke.
Nelson Scott in Canberra for 9 Radio. Thanks very much for joining us this morning, mate.
It's 14 to 8. Sneak a couple of texts in for the meat tray this morning, thanks to Goodwood Quality Meats.
Andrew has a question. He wants to know if Victoria Park is going to be set up for parking and camping for the MotoGP. I think that's a brilliant idea. Remember, though, when the suggestion was that there could be an RV parking area for the V8s, and the Adelaide City Council went into conniptions about it. The idea of people out there, cracking a can of Bundy around the fire. Well, just, stone's throw away from all of those gorgeous Federation homes on East Terrace.
There is a view tactically that if you're going to have a war, you might as well make it a big one. So if you're going to fight the Parklands people, you might as well fight the council as well. Get it all sorted in one fell swoop.
We're going to be getting into this more after 8 o'clock because there's a huge sting on the horizon over this.
Well, let's imagine a scenario where there's only One Nation and the Labor Party in the South Australian Parliament. The Parklands and City Council are going to be somewhat marginalised, aren't they? I can't imagine the One Nation people are going to be anti-caravans for the MotoGP.
No, I don't think they're going to be saying that people need to go and chain themselves to trees and, complain about the amenity and the noise and so forth.
Well, they will have no designs on ever winning the seat of Adelaide, will they? They're not going to care about that.
I don't think so.
Who cares?
Well, they're running on a Save Riders Week platform.
That's right. We'll be getting into some of these issues. The Premier after 8 o'clock this morning. Let's check traffic.
Morning there. Got delays already this morning with that annoying burst water main at Kilburn today. Just taking forever to fix this one. Churchill Road to Grand Junction Road. Best advice I can give you is to avoid it this morning. Breakdown near Bridgewater. Look out for the freeway up track near the Bridgewater ramp. Quite slow. South Road Mile End. Quite busy Brighton Road Glenelg East with the Camaraduthie Street Malvern. The King Living Anniversary sale is on now. Save up to 50% on selected Australian Design Award-winning furniture. Hurry, sale on now. Shop online or visit a King Living showroom today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Bringing you the moments that defined our city.
I just heard a crash and I saw a sort of a glancing blow, and then next thing I saw was the Premier being carried out. And he did have what appeared to be a significant mark on his face.
Always Adelaide since 1976. 50 years of 5AA.
Introducing the Caliente by Beechwood Homes. A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30pm. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth the trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including SA's best range of certified used vehicles, from passenger cars to SUVs and commercial vehicles, plus a huge range of ex-factory demo Ford, Mitsubishi, Hyundai and Mazda, along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff. You know it's well worth the trip to Steinborner Automotive. View our whole range at steinborner.com.au.
If you're building or renovating, don't guess your appliances. Go somewhere the pros go. Spartan Appliances, Campbelltown and Torrensville. Spartan works with builders and designers every day, but they treat every customer like family.
That's right. You can sit down, have a coffee, take your time and actually choose properly from brands you won't find everywhere. They've got Wolf ovens, those wonderful Sub-Zero fridges, all the big premium names, Miele, Siemens, AEG. They even run free in-store cooking demonstrations before and after you buy.
The big renovator sale is on in March, but you can already get a great deal. How's this? Save up to 20% on AEG cooking appliances, and look for special prices on ex-display and run-out models by Electrolux Cooking, Fisher & Paykel Laundry and Cooking, and selected Asco dishwashers. T's and C's apply.
That's Spartan Appliances in Campbelltown and Torrensville.
Time to Pixter. Around 70% of serious dental problems start in the gaps between teeth. Pixters clean those gaps like floss, only easier. Keep by your toothbrush and use daily. Have you Pixtered today?
A smashed or damaged windscreen can happen in a heartbeat, but it does get worse if you don't go to your local Complete Windscreens to get it fixed. You could be waiting weeks, and look, that's not on. Complete Windscreens has windscreens and glass for all makes and models in stock right now, with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want Complete Windscreens on the job. CompleteWindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
9 to 8, sun shining through the window over the hills here into our studio in Hindmarsh Square ahead of a hot weekend. Well, at least the first part. Actually, it's going to be hot all the way through, but there's going to be some rain on Sunday. Plenty of time to enjoy the weekend. Plenty of time to cook yourself up a magnificent feast as well. And if you need some inspiration, Friday's the day to get it. Tune in to Stacey Lee a little bit later today after 3. Chris Jarma, chef extraordinaire from Jarma's Kitchen, will be in for Foodie Friday. Building or renovating, your first choice should be visiting the Smeg showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with Smeg and Pals.
You certainly can.
All right, should we take some calls?
Let's do it.
Ray in Modbury, good morning. What should the state slogan be?
The state slogan should be, Need firewood? Come to South Australia.
Need firewood?
Yes.
That's quite a left field suggestion, Ray.
Yeah.
What's the firewood thing?
Oh, come on, guys. They're chopping down trees to build a golf course. Now I hear they're going to chop down trees to put a racetrack in the city.
Yeah, okay.
Topical.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
It's like, almost like a protest, that slogan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ray, excellent. That gets
Good on
everyone
you, Ray.
thinking. Good work. Good creative
Trees are
outside the
important.
box thinking, Ray. Thank
Take
you.
them for granted.
Andrew, good morning.
You don't have to go too far. This is an old Dunstan government one. SA great, mate. It was on the buses all through the 1970s, advertised on them.
One of the more effective slogans anywhere.
Great.
Not just for governments. SA Great was
good logo too.
Terrific logo.
A little angular
I had
SA.
those stickers of SA Great stickers on my stuff at home when I was a kid. Phil in Bellevue Heights, good morning.
Yeah, just a common one. They didn't, we did. Streets ahead.
Yeah, streets ahead.
Streets ahead. Well, the streets are very much the subject after 8 o'clock when we talk about the MotoGP. Mark in Grange, good morning.
I've got two real quickly. We're the best, forget the rest. And if you're a Victorian, come to South Australia, you want to be naturalised.
Citizenship ceremonies. Good on you, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Dave in South Brighton, good morning.
Morning, guys. This is not a slogan. This is just more of a little point with the council and the camping facility type question that came up earlier. There's thousands of bikes at Phillip Island that park in the parkland next to the track on race days. Thousands of them. I know because I bloody lost my bike once in the middle of it all. And they give a little wooden thing out so your bike doesn't sink down in the dirt or mud. So I just wonder if that's been thought of, because it's a massive destination for bike riders, not just motorsport fans. It's a massive destination as a trip.
Yeah.
And me and my mate, we were talking about it last night. We say, where are we going to ride to now? We actually said, well, we might have to ride off somewhere, then come home and pretend that's the journey. So
it's a good point.
It's a real, So it's a massive destination for thousands of bike riders. So hopefully we won't lose that experience, because the whole thing's going to be a different experience. So we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. Good call, mate. Thank you. Dave from South Brighton. There are a lot of unanswered questions about it. So we were talking to a mate of ours, actually, Paul, one of our salespeople who works here yesterday. He's a massive fan of MotoGP. And before we did Breaking at 8, we were chatting to him, and I was saying, no, I've heard that it's definitely going to be a street circuit. And he's saying, surely.
Yeah, I was reading the MotoGP fans forums on the internet, and they're all going, well, there's one of two things. Either this is the reckless move of a new owner of MotoGP. That's one camp. The other camp is sports evolve. New technology means you can do new things, and this could be an exciting new frontier for the sport. That's the sort of the two camps that existed among fans. But no one went, no big deal.
Oh, no, everyone said, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is wild. This is uncharted territory.
Diana in the Barossa, good morning.
Good morning, boys. How are you? I was just thinking about the state debt, and I thought the motto could be, forget about ramping, we'll soon all be camping.
Oh, that's good, Diana. Thank you. Hey, Diana, while we've got you, can I put you on the spot? Can you be our spontaneous Barossa Valley correspondent?
I don't know about that.
Well, I'll just ask you one question. Amid all of the polling speculation and everyone talking about One Nation, do you think your local member, Liberal leader Ashton Hearn, is going to hold on to her seat, the seat of Schubert?
Yes, I think she will. She's terrific. Yeah, she's a good leader.
And which part of the Barossa are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
At Freeling.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's just there's no bad parts of the Barossa.
No, there's none. There's none.
Good on you, Diana.
Thanks, Diana.
Diana.
Second safest Liberal seat. Tim Whetstone's is the safest.
Chafee in the Riverland. The
12.6%, I think, from memory, is Ashton Hearn's seat.
Yeah, which if you just did the very sort of basic analysis and transpose the data you got Newspoll over the electoral map, you'd say she's in trouble there. But that doesn't account for what Diana just detailed. There's local variability in seats based on personal popularity, We saw it with David Spears in the past.
The big thing, too, is the independents who are running against them. So that's why people like Sam Telfer, even though his margin is big, he's in deep strife. Down south, David Basham's in deep strife. The same independent almost beat him last time, Lou Nicholson running again. So if one doesn't matter, One Nation's polling 24 or whatever, the thing is last time they got 2% and he won his seat by 180 votes. So if One Nation gets 6% and Lou Nicholson gets the same, then it's good night nurse for David Basham.
Patrick and Felixstowe, good morning.
Hey, good morning, boys. Bit of a sore spot, I presume, for the South Australian government, but South Australia ramping it up.
Ramping it up?
Yeah. Put a lot of love for ramping it up.
It's a theme that's emerged quite strongly. It's funny, 4 years ago, it was all the now Premier wanted to talk about. Now, every time we mention it, he's probably cursing at the telephone.
But David, as we've been talking about all morning, he has worn it in the polls as a result of failing to follow through on the rapid promise, hasn't he? What's his margin? 1 million?
I know his approval rating plummeted to 67%.
How low is our expectation of governments and promises now and politicians?
To me, yeah.
No one cares.
We're like the rat with the buzzer and the pellet. You sort of do it often enough, you just get used to it.
It's just...
it's just one of those broken promises, isn't it?
What
was John Howard's term? Core and non-core.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that?
right. Core and non-core promises.
That was a non-core promise.
Felt pretty core at the time. Anyway, we've no point talking about it. No one seems to care. Minute to 8, 5AA News is coming up. Breaking at 8 next.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Across Greater Metropolitan Adelaide, we hold more suburb records than any other real estate agency in South Australia. From College Park and Norwood to West Beach and Brompton and through to Mount Barker, Parracombe and St Peters. We're proud to deliver standout results right across the state. No matter what you're selling, our focus is always the same, achieving the best possible outcome. If you'd like to know what your house could be worth in 2026, visit toop.com.au.
Now, there's nothing like discovering a hidden gem, especially when it leads to your new favourite bottle of wine. I tell you what, over the next hour, stick around because the winner of the news poll closest to the pin, the lucky recipient of the Thornclark wine pack will be revealed. Now, Thornclark Wines in the Barossa Valley, family-owned boutique winery, combines tranquility with perfectly curated wines.
This is the kind of place you make your point of travelling to the Barossa is to go to Thornclark Wines. There's a lot to do there. This is what you built the whole weekend around. Great gardens. They have panoramic views. You enjoy it. They do their wine tasting. They'll customise it to the sorts of things you like, and then you'll also eat a platter of local Barossa Valley produce. How good does that sound?
Great to go with mates. Great to go with family. We had a great day with the kids at the driving range overlooking the Eden Valley Vineyard. Then took home a few bottles from their Sandpiper and Shotfire ranges, especially... This is delicious. The new Shotfire Collector's Heritage Edition Shiraz.
Oh, yeah. Next time you head to the Barossa Valley, go the extra mile. Make Thornclark Wines your first stop. Cellar door open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday to Sunday.
Adelaide's news leader for 50 years. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 33 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Injured or living with chronic pain? Book an appointment at Physio Extra today. 6 locations. physioextra.com.
Former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been released from custody after being arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The 66-year-old was questioned by detectives for almost 11 hours. UK police say investigations into the matter are ongoing. King Charles says he's deeply concerned about his younger brother's arrest. UK correspondent Enda Brady says people are questioning the monarchy in the United Kingdom like never before.
Struggling economically, cost of living crisis, most people are skint. They do not want to hear about a privileged, entitled, horrible man having not paid rent for 30-odd years. I think William will have said to his dad, you need to clean this mess up now before you go. If you don't, I will.
US President Donald Trump says it's a sad day, claiming he's been exonerated.
Well, I'm the expert in a way because I've been totally exonerated. That's very nice. I can actually speak about it very nicely. I think it's a shame. I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family.
Back home, and a driver's had the book thrown at him after being arrested in the western suburbs this morning. Police spotted a BMW sedan speeding on Tapley's Hill Road at West Beach at 3 a.m. When they stopped the 33-year-old Davern Park man, he was arrested and charged with driving disqualified, driving uninsured and an unregistered vehicle and breaching bail. 2 ice pipes were found in the car. He'll face court in April. A man will face court today charged over that photography studio fire in Chesser Street on Wednesday night. The 31-year-old of no fixed address was arrested yesterday afternoon and charged with arson. The blaze destroyed the 20-year-old studio, including thousands of irreplaceable photos. Overseas gas companies are being accused of exerting too much power over the Australian market. A high level of gas exports are being blamed for rising energy costs. Research by the think tank Influence Map shows Japanese firms have had more than 20 meetings with ministers and officials since Labor came to power. Report author Jack Herring says there should not be an undersupply of gas in Australia.
Over 80% of Australia's gas is directed overseas, some of which is then resold to third countries at a profit. And when sort of seen in that context, it's pretty clear that we don't have a gas supply problem, we have a gas export and corporate lobbying problem.
Music is being used in studies on pregnant mothers to see how it impacts their well-being during pregnancy and birth. The James Cook University study found those who listen to music of their choice showed it reduces stress and anxiety along with strengthening prenatal bonding, improving sleep and helping to regulate heart rate and blood pressure. Senior lecturer Dr. Amanda Krause says it didn't even matter how long or little they listened for.
Even in studies where it was only 15, 20, less than 30 minutes of music, there were still significant positive benefits to listening to music. So it's really positive because if you can incorporate that into your daily routine while pregnant.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Order a new Gliderol garage door before the end of Feb and the operator is free. T's and C's apply.
Here's Tom.
Thank you, Jess. Adelaide and Port Adelaide will play a trial match at Alberton tonight as they continue their pre-season. Lockie McAndrew will get a chance to lock down the number one ruck role, and Josh Rochelle will also have the opportunity to continue his impressive pre-season. While for the Power, Harrison Ram will be one to watch after a big pre-season, along with Todd Marshall, who'll play in defence. To cricket, Australia has beaten India by 19 runs in their second T20 clash in Canberra. Georgia Vole was the best with the bat, smashing 88, and she says it was nice to work through an early tough period.
I was, chunking them a lot for the first couple of overs, and then sort of Moons just sort of gave me a quiet word just to keep looking down the ground, and the shots will come.
Audio there thanks to Fox. 16-year-old Indra Brown has had a great first run in the freestyle skiing halfpipe qualifiers at the Winter Olympics. She's currently ranked 5th of 21. The top 12 make the final. To soccer, and Adelaide United will host the Perth Glory, looking to make it back-to-back wins. The Reds are currently 4th on the table and will be looking to jump into the top 3 with all 3 points. Meantime, in overseas action, Nottingham Forest has 1 foot in the round of 16 of the Europa League, following a 3-0 win against Fenerbahce in the first leg of their knockout tie in Istanbul. The Adelaide 36ers will take on the Wildcats in Perth tonight for their final regular season game of the NBL. The Sixers have been given a massive favour, with the South East Melbourne Phoenix losing overnight by 4 points to Melbourne United. That result means the Phoenix is stuck in third and means the Sixers will definitely finish in the top 2. And after an almost 3-hour delay due to weather, play has begun again at the Genesis Invitational in California. Rory McIlroy's in an early share of the lead, along with Akshay Bhatia at 3 under. Adam Scott's the only Aussie out there currently on course. He's even par through 4 holes. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Morning there, seeing delays already this morning with that burst water main at Kilburn. Taking ages to fix this one. Grand Junction Road near Churchill. Just avoid that this morning. Breakdown just popped up at Norwood, Port Rush Road near the Parade. Pretty solid delays through there already. And a burst water main at Modbury to keep in mind. Northeast Road near Reservoir Road. Camera, West Street, Ascot Park. The special edition Japanese number plate auction is on. 15 rare limited edition plates are up for grabs. Bidding ends 7 p.m. Feb 23 at easyplates.sa.gov.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Staycation for a vacation? Stay with CMAX. Visit cmax.com.au to sign up today.
33 and sunny today, 35 with a possible shower tomorrow, showers, and 27 for Sunday, sunny and 28 for Monday. Right now it's 24 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide, and if you're like me and you love a good bargain from your local chemist, check out Star Discount Chemist. They're all about great value and helping your family stay healthy. Go in store or online for click and collect and delivery. Star Discount Chemist, how can we help?
At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, they've been raising the bar on servicing. It starts with next day servicing, free loan car, free vacuum and wash, and you can enjoy a free breakfast or lunch thanks to Villiers. Your car will be in expert hands with a state-of-the-art service centre and factory-trained technicians who know your vehicle inside and out. At Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, we look after you and your car. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Cheer up, sleepy Jean.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
8 minutes after 8, breaking 8 coming up in just a moment. We have a triple pack of Thorn Clark wines, the shot fire range to give away. Having played nearest to the pin yesterday, David was the secret keeper of the news poll results. We almost got him out of him.
Did you ever? That was the ultimate stitch up. Well,
but you held fast. You held fast.
I was going to say it. I was going to say the magic number.
Now, who was the closest to the Liberal primary vote?
So the entries were from the lowest to the high. We'll start with the highest. So we'll go backwards. Nick said 25. Bearing in mind the Liberal primary vote, 35.7. The question was, what was it going to be in today's news poll in the Australian? Nick said 25. Tony said 22. Craig said 21. Daniel said 19. Rex said 17. Les said 15. And Scott from Tanunda said 13.5. Scott, only 0.5 off the magical 14 number. Scott, you are the winner of the Thorn Clark Wine Pack. 3 beautiful reds from the Shot Fire range. Congratulations, mate. Well done. I thought you were about to play the winning sound effect, not the breaking at 8 sound effect. Well, it is time for breaking at 8, and obviously this announcement is not yet 24 hours old, so there is plenty of detail yet to come. But the announcement of a street circuit for the MotoGP, while lauded by rev heads, a lot of our listeners are loving it and saying, when are the tickets going on sale? It is going to cause great concern for many in the city. People who live on the eastern side of town will have qualms about the what will effectively be a doubling of the traffic snarls that they'll have to contend with, not just the V8s now, but also this. And then there's the question of, are there any sort of modifications that are going to have to be made to the parklands? Is the word modifications a euphemism for the removal of trees? And then there's just the broader principle about the use of the parklands as a venue for these sorts of events. Ben Aris is the president of the Adelaide Parklands Association, and he joins us now. Ben, I guess you've got many, many questions about what this means, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. We haven't been consulted on this at all, and it came as a bit of a surprise to us yesterday. The main concern we have is with the initial map of the course. You can see there's a whole new racetrack from Bartels Road through to Wakefield Street. And the Premier yesterday said he thinks that there'll be about 45 trees to go. But yesterday when I walked through there, there's a significant amount more than 45 that looks like could be at risk.
What sort of moves can you make, Ben, to try to get more done about this, to get more candour around this? You're going to raise it with the City Council? Is that a step? Because I know that there's people on the council who are supportive of your cause.
Yeah, exactly. So we hope to have a meeting with the council, and we hope to also have a conversation with the Premier and see if we can get a better outcome than what's currently proposed. I mean, we're just really quite disheartened by what's been going on over the last few years with this government. Obviously, the Women's and Children's Hospital, there's been over 300 trees there. With Live Golf, there are 585 trees at risk there. another 45 here. It's nearly 1,000 in 2 years. It's just it's out of control.
Do you plan to make it an election issue? I know the election's not far off, but 4 weeks to go. I wonder if when Lucy Hood got the call that this was going to be happening, she was sort of punching the air for joy or sort of swallowing hard, going, that might be a bit of a hard sell for some of my potential supporters?
Yeah, I think she might be seeing a bit of deja vu here. She's certainly not a big fan of the Parkland supporters, that's for sure. We've got a rally coming up on the 28th of this month for the Live Golf at Montforey Hill at midday. So we'll be there trying to drum up some support and make this an election issue. Obviously, with the government in caretaker mode at the moment, it obviously depends who will win the election as to what will happen, but I think that outcome seems pretty likely. But yeah, we'll definitely be pushing for this, and we won't be going quietly on this one, especially until we get more information from the government.
Yep. Well, we'll have the Premier coming up shortly, so I'll press him on some of those things then. Ben Aris, the President of the Adelaide Parklands Association, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, David.
There we go. Nice friendly chat with our good mates of the Adelaide Parklands Association.
Well, it's funny as we talk, we sort of fixated on polls today because of the extraordinary nature of the one that's come out. But if you do, 12% green still.
Yeah.
There's been little change to that. There's a hardcore 1 in 9, 1 in 10 South Australians are going to vote Greens. A lot of them are in the city. A lot of concentrated in that sort of area. So if you have this will have some impact.
I mean, it's part of the conversation, regardless of what our views might be. But I wonder what the explanation from the government is on the tree question. Let's all plant more elsewhere.
Yeah, offsets.
Yeah, like carbon offsets.
Exactly right. Tree offsets.
That's right.
As long as there's a tree somewhere, it'll be all right.
Exactly.
All right, 8223 0000 is our number. It's also the number to call if you watched 7 News last night and you managed to hear David read out the daily code word. It's a feature show. So if you've got the show's name, all you need to do is call in right now. And the prize is fantastic. Not only do you and 3 friends get tickets to the show, you get a $100 food and beverage voucher at Gluttony, which is now up and running. All thanks to 5AA 7 News and Gluttony in Rymel Park, home of the biggest shows. There's fringe tickets from gluttony.net.au. Get calling now. We'll announce the winner in just a moment. And the Premier will join us on the other side of this break.
Very heavy delays this morning with that burst water main at Kilburn. Taking forever to fix this one. Churchill Road to Grand Junction Road. Just avoid that this morning. It's awful already. Breakdown with delays at Norwood, Port Rice Road near the Parade. But another burst at Modbury, North East Road near Reservoir Road, and quite slow South Road, Karata Park. Come road today, Richmond Avenue, Kernlight Gardens. No one beats Bob Jane T-Marts with their best hard price guarantee. When you're after great service at unbeatable value, head to the Tyre and Wheel specialists. Bob Jane T-Marts, they'll look after you. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
It's an enormous day for our state. We're going to host the 27 MotoGP on the streets of Adelaide. Say what you want. SA, under our Premier's leadership and his major events, we are on the world stage again.
Adelaide's only local sports show.
Our reputation of greatness for hosting these events is there to be seen again.
The 5AA Sports Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
When you're fresh out of their favourite fresh fruit. Order more to your door with even more Woolies same-day delivery slots. Shop Woolworths in-app or online. Order by 1 p.m. Exclusions and T's and C's apply.
Play along for a few seconds. You've just won the $4 million grand prize in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. You've stepped inside your beautifully crafted Scott Salisbury home in Henley Beach South. Your friends are there, your family is there, and you have won. All the furniture is yours, and so is the $300,000 in your bank account. Now, play along for real. Get your tickets at homelottery.com.au. Licence M14894.
A lot can change in 18 months. A newborn becomes a toddler. That DIY project that you've been working on should be finished, and your favourite Netflix series could sadly come to an end. But with Sterling Homes' 18-month fixed price contract, One thing that won't change is the price.
It means you can rest easy knowing that when you're ready to build, the price is fixed for a solid 18 months with zero surprises except for your free luxury upgrades.
$15,000 worth of luxury upgrades at no extra cost. Choose what matters to you. It could be reverse cycle air conditioning. You might want stone bench tops, maybe solar panels, more, plus 2.7 metre high ceilings. They come included.
Ask about Sterling Homes' 18-month fixed price contract. Some T's and C's apply. Visit sterlinghomes.com.au for display home locations across Adelaide.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
I choose to get my exercise in with a side of sunrise.
I choose Keaton for a home that really feels like one.
We choose to start the weekend early.
On Thursdays.
Sometimes Wednesdays.
I choose to step up, not slow down.
I choose what's going to work best for me.
I choose my place. I choose confidence. I choose Keaton. Ready to explore what's possible? Visit keaton.com.au.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future. To build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
$19 after 8. Erica in Paradise was watching 7 News last night. Heard David read out a feature show. Erica, what was the show?
The Legend of Queen.
Certainly was. The Legend of Queen. Sounds like a fun night out too. You and 3 friends, Erica, are going to be getting along. You get a $100 food and beverage voucher as well. All thanks to 5AA 7 News in Gluttony and Rymore Park, home of the biggest shows this fringe. You can get tickets at gluttony.net.au.
Don't stop me now. Well, for a man who's desperately trying to convince us all that the election result is not a foregone conclusion, he probably wouldn't have been thrilled picking up either of the newspapers this morning, be it the Tiser or the Oz, with the front page polls that they had. Premier Peter Malinauskas is on the line. Premier, good morning, and thanks for joining us. Before we get into discussion of the MotoGP and the coup with the announcement yesterday pinching it off the VIX, can I ask you, not the specifics of news poll, but who are you campaigning against now? Are you campaigning against the Liberal Party, or are you campaigning against One Nation, or both?
Look, I've tried to take the view consistently since I've been leader of the party that politics too often is defined by who you're campaigning against rather than campaigning what you're for, right? So at the last election, cast your minds back, I was, it was in the midst of COVID, and I was more than happy to acknowledge that the former government had done a really good job under Premier Marshall on managing COVID, in my view. But it wasn't about that. It was about, this is the agenda we've got for the next 4 years. So, for me, nothing changes. What you've started to see with our announcements around aged care, health, what we announced particularly really important on AUKUS and skills and housing, and there's a lot more to come, is all about, what we would do if we're given the opportunity by the people of the state to be able to keep the momentum going, keep the growth going, build more homes, keep that unemployment rate low, see wages continue to escalate. We're not perfect, but we've got a plan and we've got an agenda. And the only frustration I got this week, if I'm honest with you, Dave, and you were there, we put a lot of effort into outlining our agenda with at a major speech, to 1,000-odd people at Cedar on Wednesday. Huge amount of work went into sort of sort of clearly articulating the framework for our policy agenda. And then, of course, we've had the MotoGP announcement, which is all good news, but there's a lot of effort put into that, and that's the serious stuff that we'll focus on. And so that's what we're campaigning for.
Are you saying you're upset by the timing? Are you upset by the timing of yesterday's announcement in the middle of an election campaign?
No, I'm not. Of course not. Right? I'm not upset by it at all because it's a coup. But my point is that the serious framework of our policy is what we'll be campaigning for, rather than worrying about who we're campaigning against.
Well, yeah, you say that, but you look at the SA Labor Twitter account and every second tweet is about the Liberal policy backflips, the Liberals' hard to keep up with on policy X, Y and Z. What best serves the state? Who's best serves the state sitting on the opposition benches to you? Is it Libs or One Nation?
Well, whoever the people decide. If maybe we're on the opposition benches, I don't know. That's the whole beauty of our system is there'll be polls and pundits between now and the election. That's just the way it works. But I know it's cliche, but it's true. Like ultimately, people, when they go into that secret ballot, when no one else is watching, they will decide.
Yeah, there's a practical expression of that. The answer to that question, though, when it comes by way of preferences. Have you guys made any decisions about how you handle that? Because on the strength of this polling, it'll be pretty interesting in some of these regional seats.
No, we haven't. I mean, that's a matter that the party goes through in terms of preferences. But I mean, it's, you know, we make decisions on preferences based on what we believe as a party and as an outfit. And, you know, obviously One Nation's going to invite some questions, and the Labor Party's long-held position, as was established under, in fact, the Liberal Party by John Howard, was to not preference One Nation. And I don't see us departing from that policy. You know, like I said, John Howard put a line in the sand and when he was leader of the Liberal Party, to his great credit, and said that the Liberal Party would never preference One Nation. And it's going to be, I think, very interesting to see whether or not the state Liberals stick to John Howard's conviction or whether or not they're now in a completely different world. It'll be telling.
That's a handy tactical call to make, though, given that it has the sort of a veneer of moral armour to it, but it comes with the knowledge that would destroy the Liberal Party too.
What, to not preference One Nation?
Well, they sort of need all the votes they can get, don't they? And there's a lot of people in the Liberal Party like Jeff Kennett's come out now saying they should do a deal with them.
Well, I mean, it depends if you're more interested in inside baseball politics or more interested in policy and values. I mean, that's and you know, if you know, without sort of speaking about the Liberal Party per se, what I would say is these jobs are tough and complex and unrelenting, and it all. I don't know how you can do that if you don't have a clear view in your mind with a degree of conviction about what it is that you believe in and what it is you want to achieve. Now, I'm pretty clear about it from my perspective. I believe in economic growth. I believe in leading a pro-business Labor government so that more people get employed on higher wages with improved living standards to capitalise on having the fastest housing growth in the country and keeping it going. And actually having the state standing on its own 2 feet with the rest of the nation looking at us a bit differently. So, and I think that's, and I also believe in having a healthy multicultural society. So, I outlined that in my speech on Wednesday, and that's what governs our political philosophy and in turn what we do on preferences. I don't know where the Liberal Party sit at this stuff at the moment. You know, we haven't, the chopping and changing in a whole range of things, which speaks to a lack of clear conviction about what they believe in. And that I think is problematic for any political party when they find themselves in that position.
Premier, on the MotoGP, we've already hearing concerns from the Parklands Association, residents of the eastern suburbs worried about disruption. How up are you for consultation on this, or is it one of those things where it's like, look, you just got to put up with the pain and the disruption for a few days. There's only a few trees going, and let's just let it rip and have a good time?
There will, of course, be consultation on key issues, but we're going to make this happen, right? Because it's a massive opportunity for the state. The MotoGP's growth trajectory is what we're really interested in. They've been bought by Liberty Media, who bought F1 before it skyrocketed. They've got really clear plans they've outlined to us. it's already got over 600 million people who watch it, which is crazy, and it's growing. So, it's a big opportunity for the state. In terms of the trees, I got asked about this in the press conference yesterday and answered it point blank, that it's at around about approximately 45 trees are going to have to go, and that number might go up and down, but at the margins. In terms of traffic, we convened a group of officials discreetly between Premier and Cabinet and Department of Transport and Infrastructure and also the Motorsport Board to look at the way we can use the remodelling of the track to open and close roads more quickly than what has been the case in the past. And the work that we've done thus far sees that we can actually have the roads open sooner or closed less, I should say, for the Adelaide 500, for the Supercars Grand Final. And then for the MotoGP event, that's a 3-day event. So we're working hard to get that road closure done as quickly as much as possible, and it will open up in between the two events. But we'll consult with people on that as we do, but I don't want anyone to be under any illusions that they're going to persuade the government to not do this, whether it be the Parklands Association or anyone else.
Will the Supercars be using this new track, the MotoGP track?
Inside Victoria Park, yes, where it gets remodelled. And I'm keen to talk about that if you don't mind, because
I think our motorsport listeners will be interested because they're concerned that what makes for safe MotoGP racing makes for boring V8 racing. And I'm talking about the smoothing out of the corners and so forth. Yeah.
So there is the option, and we're engaging with Supercars on this, to bring, because the MotoGP race is going to the old F1 track with modifications. There is the option to take when we go to the grand final, to bring the course back in to what now reflects the Supercars race with the traditional Turn 8 celebration and the staircase around East Terrace. That is an option, and we'll engage with Supercars around what they think is best. Inside Vic Park, there'll be modifications. One of them is where the temporary grandstand gets put up and put down. You can picture that, gents. It's in the middle of Victoria Park, right? And just consumes the whole park for 5 months of the year. We're taking the opportunity to put that on the edge of Fullerton Road next to the Heritage Grandstand. So again, inside Vic Park, the course doesn't go in front of the Heritage Grandstand. Now it will. And then we're going to put the pit building and the grandstand next to it. So that's going to mean a lot less disruption in the middle of Victoria Park for the 5 months of the year, which is, we think, a really good outcome.
Peter Malinauskas, Premier, thank you for that. We'll talk again soon.
It's coming up to 8:30, 5AA News Time. Feedback Fridays coming up in just a moment. 4 easy questions, no wrong answers, and 3 fabulous prizes. 8223 0000 is the number. Get calling now. First 3 through will be contesting Feedback Friday next.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Sunny and 33 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Jess Adamson.
Hands you can trust and state-of-the-art facilities. Physio Extra, tailoring care for you. PhysioExtra.com.
Former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been released from custody after being arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The 66-year-old was questioned by detectives for almost 11 hours. UK police say investigations into the matter are ongoing. Europe correspondent Mimi Becker.
King Charles released a statement following his brother's arrest, saying he held the deepest concern and that the law must take its course. He added the police have his and the palace's full and wholehearted support and cooperation. The King and Queen continued their royal duties, attending Fashion Week and a music performance, and the pair did not answer any questions in public. Andrew is the first senior member of the royal family to be arrested in modern history.
Virginia Giuffre's family is praising law enforcement officials in the UK following the revelations. Ms Giuffre previously alleged the former prince had assaulted her 3 times as a teenager. Her brother Sky says the law should apply to everyone.
We're very hopeful that this is the start of the domino effect. This is where the house of cards starts falling. And, kudos to the UK for taking the first step, for saying, you know what, we are going to arrest somebody who is held to one of the highest esteems out there.
Back home, and the countdown to the state election continues. Premier Peter Malinauskas and opposition leader Ashton Hearn will take part in a leaders' debate today. It will be held at the Advertiser's Future SA event at lunchtime. Each will outline their visions for the state with a keynote address before debating their views on a variety of issues. South Australians head to the polls on March 21. A man's been arrested after 2 shocking assaults in the city last night. Police were called to Grenfell Street at 9:20 amid reports a man was behaving aggressively and punching people. Senior Constable Rebecca Stokes says 2 men were attacked.
The 2 victims were 2 men aged in their 30s. They'd initially left the scene, which was quite understandable after being attacked by this man, but they've later come forward and reported the assaults. And fortunately, they didn't sustain any serious injuries during the incident.
The 32-year-old Enfield man will face court today charged with disorderly behaviour and assault. Concerns are being raised about a proposed overhaul of how internationally qualified dentists are approved to work in Australia. The Australian Dental Association says current accreditation rules ensure all practitioners meet consistent national safety and care standards. President Dr. Chris Sanzaro argues proposals to fast-track dentists through exams isn't the solution to the sector's shortage.
We have way too many dentists in some sections of our capital cities and certainly a significant undersupply of dentists in regional and remote Australia. And we need to focus on solutions that are going to get dentists to relocate to those areas and provide the dental services that are needed rather than letting in potentially underqualified dentists.
The end of an era on public transport today with paper metro tickets being retired. Moving forward, we can use Tap and Pay, the Adelaide Metro Buy and Go app or a Metro card. Unused paper tickets can be transferred onto a new or existing Metro card at the Metro Info Centre. Adelaide's own Hilltop Hoods will play the Entertainment Centre tonight and tomorrow night. They're doing 2 shows due to overwhelming demand. It's part of their Never Coming Home national tour.
I feel like Bobby Fischer, always 4 moves ahead of my competition. Listen, they ain't gonna stop me ever.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Order a new Gliderol garage door before the end of Feb and the operator is free. T's and C's apply.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Jess. The AFL is looking at reforms to concussion rules. Doctors in the ARC could have the power to send players from the ground under a proposal to be put to clubs. Well, the Crows and Port Adelaide will meet in a practice match at Alberton Oval tonight. That match set to start at 5:30pm. Meantime, St Kilda kicked 14 of the last 15 goals in its practice match against Gold Coast. Recruit Jack Silvani suffered a concussion, though, in the first half, while Suns assistant coach Sean Grigg says Jamara Ugle-Hagan will be better for the run.
I think it's his first game in over 400 days, so for him to be out on the footy field, awesome for us to see. So to play in the heat up here as well, he'll learn some lessons. But for us, it was just getting him out there and getting him through. He got through the game and he played the 4 quarters for us.
And Sydney beat the Bulldogs by 33 points. Charlie Curnow impressing at his new club as he booted 4 goals. Well, Indra Brown has qualified for the final of the free ski halfpipe at her maiden Winter Olympics. The 16-year-old Melbourne schoolgirl qualified 4th. She says it's been incredible competing against American-born Chinese star and defending champion Eileen Gu.
It's really inspiring, to have someone that I still idolize. It's super cool to be able to train around her, ski around her, and, I'm able to call her a good friend of mine, so it's really cool.
Briefly elsewhere, world number 2 Yannick Sinner has lost in 3 sets to Jakub Mensik in the quarterfinals at the Qatar Open. And Nottingham Forest has enjoyed a 3-0 win against Fenerbahce in the first leg of their knockout tie in the Europa League. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Crash to look out for at Millswood, Goodwood Road near the railway line with delays. Also got delays at Kilburn with that Burst Waterway into Green Junction Road and Churchill Road, and a breakdown at Norwood Portrush Road near the parade to look out for today. Quite busy at the moment, South Road, Mile End, quite slow. Anzac Highway at Tapley's Hill Road, just at Glenelg there, and got a camera at Waite Road, Urbray. Hungry for a legendary offer? The Subway 6-inch value range is $7. Yes, just $7. Legendary. Order on the Subway app, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate track on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Staycation for a vacation? Stay with CMAX. Visit cmax.com.au to sign up today.
33 and sunny today, 35 with a possible shower tomorrow, showers and 27 for Sunday, sunny and 28 for Monday. Right now it's 25 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Cherry is celebrating 3 years in Australia by having a birthday sale. Save $2,000 on the C5, the Tiggo 4 Hybrid or the Tiggo 8 Super Hybrid. Offer ends March 31st and conditions apply. Cherry for the road ahead.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving now with City Discount Tires. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires. You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie, family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia with a new fleet and 100% local Aussie service. And right now, Red Spot is giving you spot-on savings of 15% off every vehicle at every location. Book direct and save at redspot.com.au/radio. T's and C's apply.
Red Spot.
At Brain Matters, Allied Health support starts with understanding.
They work with adults living with complex neurological conditions, including stroke, dementia, Parkinson's, head and neck cancer and traumatic brain injury.
The team at Brain Matters Allied Health brings together speech pathology, psychology and dietetics because brain conditions don't affect just one part of life. Communication can change, swallowing and nutritional needs can change, emotional well-being can be affected too. And it's not just about the individual. Families are supported as they navigate difficult diagnoses and big adjustments together.
You don't need a GP referral to begin. Visit brainmattersalliedhealth.com.au and complete the online form to take the first step at your own pace.
Students, this one's for you. At Optus, get a massive 200 gigabytes of data for $39 a month for the first 12 months when you sign up to a new mobile service. Plus, enjoy unlimited international calls to 35 destinations. Great for study, streaming and staying in touch with friends and family. Switch to Optus today. Available until withdrawn. Tertiary students only. Fairgo policy applies. Not available with other offers. See terms on Optus website.
Satisfy your lunch cravings with the Subway 6-inch value range. Grab a legendary Subway 6-inch sub for just $7 when you order on the app. The Subway 6-inch value range. Order now on the Subway app. Available at participating restaurants.
Is it the best Beechwood home ever made? Possibly, but there's always more to come from Beechwood. Introducing the Caliente, now open for viewing. The Caliente is a multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Taking inspiration from Palm Springs and California, it's definitely a conversation starter. The team at Beechwood can't wait for you to see it at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm. Open Saturdays and Sundays, 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 9. Just a couple of news tidbits we want to shine a light on. Sean sent us through some traffic information a short time ago. Crash on Goodwood Road, left-hand lane of the Millswood Tunnel heading into the city, causing massive delays. So take an alternate route if possible. Sean, thank you for that.
It's always a snarl there.
Often there's roadworks there and just around the tunnel. It makes life an absolute nightmare. Thank you for that, Sean. Also, police have, just want to highlight this, police investigating a man after a man was stabbed in Pirie Street last night. So 9 p.m. Thursday night. This is not 3 a.m. This is 9 p.m. Thursday night.
Random attack too.
Yeah, random attack. Devonshire Place. Two people, a victim and a friend, as described by police, approached by an unknown man, became involved in an altercation. The man pulled a knife from his pocket and stabbed the victim in the abdomen. The victim then, a 40-year-old Redwood Park man, was driven to hospital by his friend. He underwent surgery and is now in a stable condition. Injuries are not considered life-threatening. You might see police around the area because they're examining the crime scene this morning. They're on the lookout for the person, and this is the important bit. The suspect, described as a man of Caucasian appearance, 183 centimetres tall, aged in his 20s, medium build, short hair, wearing a baseball cap, was also carrying a pizza box. Now, the thing that breaks these cases wide open in the city all the time is CCTV. So they want anyone around Devonshire Place in that area, if you own a business or whatnot, if you've got CCTV, or if you're driving past with dash cam, 9 p.m. through the city last night, SAPOL would love to see it because it might be crucial in finding the person responsible.
Yeah, yesterday afternoon, it's just the saddest thing. I saw this woman who was so off the air. She looked like she had just taken, like, God knows what drug, like probably just some gigantic amount of meth. And she looked like something out of like some The Last of Us. Like a zombie. She genuinely looked like a zombie. She was behind our local shops, and she was standing on the side of the road, and she started doing this sort of like she was having a fit. But her body was like on a 45-degree angle. She was leaning and moving, swaying back and forth across the road. Then she went out the back of the shops and fell into all of these Sulo bins. Bins went flying. She knocked a bin onto the back of the bottle shop. Then she was out near the butcher shop. I rang Dave and said, mate, there's this poor woman out the back who's completely off the air. And he said, oh, God, I was just out the back and I heard this big bang in the bin area. And I said, well, that was her. I thought I'd just let you know in case she tries to get through the back door. But I was just picking the kids up, and, you know, and there are other parents doing the same. And so what a sad indictment on, you know, the way these poor people just get totally captured by that drug. And how often do you see people like that?
Well, I was going to say, there's got to be a better way to care for people that have fallen victim to that than have them just wandering around. Like, we always talk about it from the perspective of...
She got like a car almost hit her at one point coming around the corner near the Bottle. Like, she wouldn't have even known if she was hit by it. She was in this utterly catatonic state. It was just a horrible thing to look at.
All right. We need one spot available for Feedback Friday. If you'd like to get on board, you could win yourself a wonderful Smeg appliance or get to the movies. 8223 0000. Feedback Friday in just a moment. Heather in Two Wells, though, has a Meat Tray Friday entry. Heather, do you have a slogan for South Australia?
Yes, I do. SA, Entertainment and Business State.
Oh, nice.
Entertainment and business.
All these sincere people.
It's worse things to be known for than entertainment and business. That's excellent. Thank you, Heather.
Good on you.
Whoops, not that one. Let's not flash. Let's feedback.
Friday today, so have you say feedback.
Still a spot available. Jim and Ian, first cabs off the rank. Let's go to Jim, who's in the mid-north. Morning to you, Jim. You there, Jim?
We have Jim?
Jim! Is there a delay out to...
Hello?
Oh, maybe there is.
Yeah, I just put my head out the window a bit. I've got a Telstra phone tower in the top paddock and I don't get a signal in the house, so I'm hanging out the front window.
Jim,
good on you, Jim.
Everything you said
Hey,
makes
just
me very
before
excited.
we get started, boys, can I just have a point of indulgence? I hit the trifecta. On the 30th of January, you had your Authors' Day, and David revealed his Achilles heel big time. He had a woman who won the prize coming from the south, Normansville, but that wasn't the clincher. It was when the older lady who'd met him in the Drakes down said how handsome he was. David, only a few weeks before, said how he had a one-man war on foodies, which I can't stand. I think the word's childish, and I was on David's side. I thought, I'm going to carry the tambourine and march in that army. David was disarmed by being called a handsome, pretty boy. Like our Prime Minister. David, you thought you learnt Spanish and translated the songs in uni to upset the musos who thought they were pretty cool, but a lady saying you were handsome, I thought, David. But that woman you saw, I would say, take it from an old campaigner, she's on fentanyl, that girl, David.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, you're talking about two different women
I
there.
saw one. My partner works at public service in Perry, and she had a woman out the front of her office, 3 hours, with crushed up Mentosses, bent over 45 degrees, sorting through tiny, tiny pieces of Mentos till the police came and picked her up and took her to Adelaide.
Yeah,
She sounds completely Mentos.
Terrible.
Thank you.
All right.
Terrible.
You ready for some feedback, Jim?
Yep, sorry about this.
All right.
Sorry about that. I had to get off my chest.
That's
I
all right.
wrote some weeks back, but you're busy.
All right, yep. Try and be concise on these ones, Jim, because we're running out of time.
I know I shot myself in the foot, but you've got to make a stand.
Totally, Jim. That was excellent. Now, Jim, is the royal family cooked?
Now, I'm a monarchist, so I say yes, but no. In my heart, I say no, but yes, I say they are. But William is a lot shrewder and smarter than people think. He might bring him back. He's in the footsteps of his grandfather and his old grandma.
Yeah,
absolutely. He might bring it back. If he cuts off Harry after he gets rid of Andrew and Sarah and the daughters, he might bring it back.
Are you a motorcycle racing enthusiast, Jim?
Yeah, I sent you a text about how much I like motorcycle racing in the movies to do with it.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
We remember that one.
About David Essex just today in Silver Dream Racer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I showed it to her indoors and she hated it. After years of hype, she said, I'm sure you're in love with David Essex. But I'm 60 and I had older sisters so David Essex was big in my youth.
Oh, yeah.
Jim, you've got the gift of the gab. You're only getting 2 questions for Feedback Friday.
Well done, Jim.
You're the first person to filibuster Feedback Friday.
That had a bit of everything.
That was superb. Ian in One Tree Hill, good morning.
Good morning. I'll keep it short for you guys.
Thank you, Ian. Ian, is the Liberal Party cooked?
Yes.
Love it.
Correct.
Hey, we spoke to Caralta Park, the band, earlier in the week. You got an Adelaide suburb that would sound good as a band name?
Cumberland Park. How's that?
Cumberland Park. It sounds good. They sound like
the one with One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill was a TV show.
Next question, we're in a hurry.
All right. Is Cool Runnings a good movie?
Yes, a great movie.
Would you go on holidays to the US at the moment, Ian?
Sorry?
Would you go on holidays to the US if you had the chance?
No way.
Ian, thank you. That was magnificent.
Brevity being the soul of wit. Ian's in the box seat here.
Steve in South Plympton, good morning to you. You can go either way, Steve. We got time now.
I don't even know where to start this morning, guys.
That's all right. It's all right. It's late in the week. It's been hot.
Yep.
Yep. Are you going to any fringe shows, Steve?
Funny story. I was going to plan a Valentine's Day outing for my wife and I. Got really excited about a fringe show. And I said, we'll go to this one. It's on the 14th. Then she took one look at the calendar and went, that's 14th of March, you idiot. Hopefully next month we can go and see that show.
I'm not sure you've seen this, Steve, but the US Health Secretary, RFK Jr., Robert Kennedy, has released a video inspiring Americans to be healthy again, in which he and Kid Rock conduct a gym workout inside a sauna, during which the health secretary strips down to his blue denim jeans to complete the workout. The video culminates in him and Kid Rock, he's still in his jeans, drinking whole milk in a pool. Have you ever been in a pool with blue jeans on, Steve?
I can't say I have.
I'm glad I haven't seen that video.
None of that is fake, by the way. That is all the truth.
I did get thrown in a pool once with my Ugg boots, so I wasn't happy about that.
What, did the Ugg boots survive?
Not really, no. I was not happy.
David went to see Chapel Roan this earlier to start the week, really. Have you ever listened to Chapel Roan, Steve?
I can't say I have.
Okay.
No. Sorry.
And
Tony Club? No.
Crows Port tonight, pre-season showdown. Who wins?
Oh, God, it's February. Who cares?
Exactly. Yes. That's the right answer, Steve. Who gets the Smeg appliance and who gets the Wallace movie passes?
Let's give the Smeg appliance to Steve in South Plympton, and Ian and Jim can go to the films.
Fantastic work.
Good stuff.
If Jim walks in at the start of that movie and just says, look, I just got one thing to say, you'd want it to be Ben-Hur is all I'm saying.
Right.
It's
The Irishman.
Let's check traffic.
The image of Jim leaning out the window for that conversation.
Jim was excellent.
To get his Telstra tower.
We salute you.
At Millswood, a crash to look out for. Goodwood Road near the railway line. Norwood, a breakdown on Portrush Road near the parade with delays, and big delays at Kilburn still with that Burst Waterway Churchill Road at Grand Junction Road. Just give that a big miss this morning. Gunrose Waite Road, Urbray and McGill Road, McGill. Harris Scarf's Friends exclusive 50% off store-wide sale is on now. Excludes clearance and gift cards. See conditions online. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
On the Cow IQ test, Fluorio milk cows come in at around 100.
pretty much the national average. But when it comes to the milk our SA cows produce, it's unmatched. You don't need to be a cow Einstein to produce some of the best milk in the country. You do need the perfect grazing conditions, and the milk needs to be bottled on site and on shop shelves within hours. It doesn't get any fresher, any better, or any more SA than FIVEAA milk.
Without heat damage, now only $546. Best brands, best range. There's more in store at Harvey Norman. Hot deals on Dyson on now.
Kia is leading the way in electric innovation, and the best place to see them is at Wayne Phillis Kia, SA's most awarded Kia dealership.
Be one of the first to experience the all-new Kia EV4, bold design, all-electric performance, and built to shake up the small sedan market.
Don't miss the Kia EV3, recently crowned World Car of the Year. Compact, clever, and packed with cutting-edge tech. It's the EV everyone's talking about.
Prefer petrol power? Well, the all-new Kia K4 delivers hot hatch styling, advanced safety with serious street presence. Best of all, at Wayne Phillis Kia, you can take any car for an overnight test drive so you can experience what they're like to live with.
See for yourself at SA's most awarded Kia dealership, Wayne Phillis Kia, 86 Main South Road, Ranella, or jump online at waynephilliskia.com.au.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the one you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Families are under pressure like never before.
It's because the major parties have created this mess.
But you can send them a message.
Vote one Family First on the green and white ballot paper.
Together we can take the pressure off families.
Authorised by Lyle Shelton Family First Party, Norwood.
5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
6 minutes to 9, we should give away a meat tray. Goodwood Quality Meats.
Big thanks to Dave, Caleb, Luke, the rest of the gang at Goodwood Quality Meats. They are Meat Tray Friday OGs, and it is my favourite butcher shop. Go there all the time. Kim in South Brighton. One of the many sober-minded, thoughtful, and with cynics and sceptics and knockers and people taking the you-know-what. But today a lot of people are actually going, we're feeling pretty good about ourselves. Kim's was driving change.
Driving change.
Nice little play on words there with the, you know.
Golf front of mind. And
sort of driving tractors into trees, pull them out, put a track up, that sort of stuff.
Driving motorcycles, driving cars.
Driving the council mad.
It's better to be a member with RAA Road Service. Speaking of driving, cheapest petrol, the Yugo West Highmarsh, $1.47.9. The United Blair Athol, $1.48.9. And at Port Adelaide, the BPX Convenience, $1.49.5. Cheap diesel, $1.59.5. It's the Solo Nailsworth, just under $1.60. Let's count down the top 5 moments of the week.
It's been the top 5 of the week.
In 5th position.
Oh, it's horrific thinking about, that's the worst case scenario. And, you know, parents' worst nightmare because, you know, you have this false sense of security that, you know, your young person's going to be all right and safe in the city and, you know, it's not going to happen to my child or my young person and then it happens.
The awful story of Bo Brownbill going out like so many young people do for a night out and got king hit. That was his mum speaking to us on
the good news, though, is he's now back at home on the road to recovery, which is terrific.
4th spot.
I know Truman shouted out to me at one point, goes, "Oh, Maeve, what's your favourite Big Bash team?" and something like that. And in the time, I don't think it was till the very end that I fully realised it was Tom Hanks and his son. So at this time, I'm just spent the majority of our conversation just being oh, these are some really friendly American tourists.
Tom Hanks arriving at a cricket store in New South Wales. Maeve we spoke to, who served him, wondering who her favourite Big Bash team was. I don't know why it's funny. It just makes me laugh.
She had the world's best laugh too.
She did. She was terrific to speak to. Great story. Number 3.
I thought it was the most ridiculous idea ever. And I honestly thought that. And I remember saying, you know, nobody could ever get me to go on one of those things. It provided a vehicle for me to realize a lifelong dream, competing in the Olympics.
That was Devon Harris, who we spoke to earlier in the week, the Jamaican bobsledder from to most Australians, from Cool runnings. But the real life story it was based on, it was Devon Harris, who was in the military at the time and told us his story about how he went from being a track and field athlete that was in the army to representing Jamaica at the Winter Olympics for... it was a couple of months out from the Olympics and they still had never been on a bobsled. The 4-man team, he told us, the first time they ever all jumped in together was when they were doing it at the Winter Olympics. Unbelievable story. Number 2.
Because I think your Premier has taken a great deal out of my hymn book, and your Premier is just a smaller version of Jeff Kennett. We here in Victoria at the moment are going backwards. South Australia is obviously, again, because of the adoption by Peter of the Jeffrey Handbook, you're a very enlightened place at this stage.
That was former Victorian Premier Jeff Kennett bestowing on our Premier, I guess, the greatest bit of praise that Jeff Kennett could ever give someone from his perspective, and that is comparing them to himself.
I tell you what, while we're all largely cheering this on in SA is a great thing for the state and an event that a lot of people are really excited about attending. 3AW wall-to-wall calls yesterday that would have sounded exactly like the calls that we were getting at 5AA back in 1993, December 1993, when the news broke that we'd lost the race, the Formula 1 race to Melbourne.
Number 1 spot. Everyone predicting significantly lower than the primary at the last state election. That's not that surprising. It would follow a trend of the national polling data that we've seen recently. You've got them written down. And David, the winner is... it was worth a shot. I almost got you there too.
I know who the winner is.
Yeah, I know you do.
I'll reveal it
that
tomorrow.
was so close to both.
I just looked at you like, what?
David was doing such a good job all day yesterday as the keeper of the news poll results. Tried to bait him into revealing them at the end.
The biggest on-air clanger since you accidentally told me that Alison was with child.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. You owed me one.
Being pregnant and all.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yes.
All right.
All right, have a great weekend, everyone.
Hopefully we get a decent amount of rain on Sunday as well. That'll be terrific. Hopefully we're talking about that Monday. Enjoy the weekend.